What's up, Met fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets at Rob, and welcome to another Mets pregame live, leading right into Mets versus Nationals live right here on Talking Mets at Rob. So if you're just tuning in, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. And if you're new to the channel, say what's up in the chat and hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Three quality, great performances by the New York Mets against the Nationals, starting off the season 3-0 and going for the sweep today with Cookie Carrasco on the mound. This is a big start for Cookie Carrasco. I truly believe that if he's healthy, he will pitch well, but we do also need Carrasco to be a solid number 4 for us. And he has, again, it is the Nationals, but they do have Juan Soto, Josh Bell, and Nelson Cruz, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. The lineup for the Mets are below in the stream right now, guys. So if you want to look at the lineup, it's right below scrolling as of right now. So the Mets are going for the sweep. The Mets are 3-0. The Phillies are 2-0, going for the sweep against the Oakland A's today as well. They should be starting just now. The Mets all around, starting off with Tyler McGill in game 1. Excellent performance, 5 solid innings, no runs. Then Scherzer going 6, giving up 3 runs. And last night with Chris Bassett fooling everybody with his 6 pitches, giving up no runs in 6 innings. In total, the Mets gave up a total of 3 runs in 3 games. They scored 17 runs in 3 games, over 30 hits in 3 games. It's just amazing the difference when you have quality professional players in the lineup. It makes a huge difference. We've hit 2 home runs in 3 games, McNeil and Alonso. Everything else has been manufactured runs with base hits, doubles, sac flies, stolen bases, taking the extra base on a base hit. This is the New York Mets. The New Mets lineup has a totally different change from last year. We couldn't score with runners in scoring position. We couldn't score runners on base. Every game last year was 15, 16 men left on base scoring 1 or 2 runs. Now, the Mets scored at least 5 runs per game. That's exactly what this Mets team needs to do. And if the Mets continue to pitch like this, they're going to be very hard to beat no matter who they're facing. And you heard a lot of talk about the New York Mets facing one of the worst teams in baseball. Fine. The New York, if good teams beat up on bad teams. It's just exactly what happens when it comes to any type of good team in your division. You got to beat teams that you face, especially the bad teams. You can't lose to these bad teams. We played the Nationals 19 times. We have to win at least 15 of those games. That's how bad the Nationals are. If you're a good team, you beat up on the bad teams. You see it every year. The team that is supposedly good and having a hard time with the bad teams usually have a hard time winning their division and making the playoffs. It's just that simple. So here we are, guys. Mets pregame live, Talking Mets at Rob right here, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit on that subscribe button. Hit on that like button, guys. Let's get this stream out to a lot of Met fans today. Going for the sweep against the Nat with Carlos Carrasco on the mound. Let's hope Carlos Carrasco does what he has to do, and let's see if he can find the performances he had in Cleveland here wearing the orange and blue. So what are we going to do first, guys? We're going to go through the lineup, check that out. I really do like the lineup today. Again, it's been a different lineup every night Buck Showalter has been putting on there. Some people was like, what is he doing? But then, again, the Mets win. Everybody trusts Buck Showalter when it comes to the lineup. And the way he's worked the bullpen, the way he has been taking out starters at the right time, pinch hitting people at the right time, putting the right guys in at the right time. Jankowski got the start yesterday and got 2 hits and 2 stolen bases. Buck Showalter is pushing all the right buttons right now, guys. So before we get started going into the lineup, guys, and checking out the pitching matchup and also the Nationals lineup, we're going to say what up to everybody in the chat. So don't forget, guys, say what's up in the chat so you get a shout out right here on Talking Mets at Rob. Victor, Matt, John, Lane, B. Watts, Lendog. Let's see, Eddie, Rocky, Evil. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. I see a couple of people talking about Cookie Carrasco right now. Again, everybody's so focused on last year. You got to remember, guys, he was injured the entire year. He barely had a spring training, and he came back in August. And he never got right. He had to go through his injuries, his rehabs, and spring training was basically a couple of weeks for him. It wasn't a normal spring training like it was this year. So there is no doubt that if Carlos Carrasco is healthy, he can be a perfect number 4 for us. Again, we're not looking 6-7 innings for Carlos Carrasco. Give us 5 innings, 2 runs, 2 to 3 runs. I trust this offense to score multiple 4 or 5 runs a game. There's no doubt about that. And that's what I think. Now, if you just look, taking away the name of Carlos Carrasco and just look at every number 4 in the rotation throughout the league, they either have a 4 or a 5 ERA. They're not great pitchers. So you expect your 4 and 5 to give you quality innings, keep your team in the game, and bring it over to the bullpen around the 5th or 6th inning. And that's how you work around your 4th and 5th starters. You want them to give you quality starts and keep you in the game. The 4th and 5th starters, you're basically relying on your lineup to put up runs. It's just like that throughout the league. So the Mets are no different. Just because Carlos Carrasco, was basically our number 2 last year coming into the season before he got hurt, you can't look at him like that. You have to see him as just a number 4. And that's the way I'm going to look at him. Give me 5 innings, 2 or 3 runs, keep us in the ball game. That's all I'm asking for Cookie Carrasco here today against the Nationals going for the sweep. Ken T. Steven, how you doing? Subaru, what's up? Miracle, what's up? Hey, Ken, like I've been saying, like I said, I was very hard on McNeil, 100% hard on McNeil. Everybody knows that. I'm not going to backtrack on that. But I also said when I talked about him and talking down about McNeil before the season started, I also said, if he shows me up and he makes me have egg on my face, look, I'm a Mets fan. I want every guy to do good. But it was a little worrisome the last couple of years. Some people could say the hidden philosophy, too much analytics. He went back to the basics, probably. But you know what? I give McNeil all the credit for going back to what he was in 2019 and 2020. If he's that guy, this lineup looks a hell of a lot different. And that's what we're going to look at right now. We're going to go right into the lineup today. You see it at the bottom of your screen, but I'm going to pull up the MLB.TV like we normally do. And we're going to look at the lineup. Obviously, that is the pitching matchup for tonight, guys. But today, actually, at 1:30, Carlos Carrasco against Eric Fetty. Going down to the lineups, we got Brandon Nimmo leading off, playing second. Francisco Lindor batting second, playing shortstop. Robinson Cano playing second, batting third. Pete Alonso cleaning up, playing first base. Eduardo Escobar playing third base, batting fifth. Dominic Smith getting another start, but playing DH today in the 6th spot. Mark Connor back in the lineup tonight, playing right field, batting 7th. Jeff McNeil continues to be in the lineup, playing left field, batting 8th. And Tomas Nido gets the 2nd start of the year, catching, batting 9th. And when we look at the Washington Nationals, it's a very similar lineup over the last couple of days. Cesar Hernandez, Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, the young catcher Keibert Ruiz, Yadiel Hernandez, Maikel Franco, Lucius Fox, and Victor Robles. That is your lineups for the Mets and the Nationals, guys. Once again, Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Mets, going for the sweep against the Nats, and pitching for the Nats is Eric Fetty. So once again, guys, you know how it is if you're just tuning in for the first time in the live stream during the game. Basically, what I do MLB Game Day on the screen just like this with my video in the corner. You're going to see the live game day on the screen. I also do the radio call from the New York Mets with Ray Randazzo and Howie Rose. A lot of people enjoyed it on opening day, so we're going to keep on doing it until people don't like it anymore. People seem to enjoy it. And also, in between innings, I will come back just like this to recap the inning and talk about it, and then go right back to the radio call and go back to game day just like this. So that's what you're going to be expecting during the live streams during Mets games. And if you are new to the channel, once again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel exclusively on my channel, guys. When I go to a game, either it's at Citi Field or on the road, I go live during the fifth inning of those games and bring you the live game, in-game experience from the fans. I'll show you the backdrop of the stadium, looking at the field and everything like that during the fifth inning, top fifth and bottom fifth. So hopefully you guys check that out when I go on opening day on April 15th when they play the Diamondbacks. So once again, let me say what's up to the rest of the people that just tuned in. Frank, Steven, Eddie, what's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, that's all you gotta do is keep me on my feet. That's it. You know what? Listen, Cano is shocking the hell out of me right now. Look, I'm not shocked that McNeil is bouncing back. You know, it took him to go back to the basics of his hitting style and basically what he's doing. He's shortening up his swing. He's not swinging with that crazy launch angle that he had the last couple of years. He's getting on base. He's in two strikes, he's choking up on the bat more and going the other way. So it's a good sign for the first three games with Jeff McNeil. I love it. Robinson Cano, I mean, he's played 3 out of the last 4 games. So, I'm shocked what Cano is doing, but I think Buck has got to be a little careful with Robinson Cano when it comes to Robinson Cano because he is 39 years old. He's not a spring chicken anymore. You got to be a little bit careful with Robinson Cano. But again, if he keeps on performing, you're gonna have to put him out there. If it's not second base, put him at DH. I see Buck wants to give Dominic Smith the second day in the lineup. I like that a lot. Again, you saw what Dominic Smith can do at first base. There's a reason why teams are asking for Dominic Smith who need a first baseman. He is excellent defensively at first base. The plays that he made, saving double plays, scooping up the ball, making that nice catch when Luis Guillorme threw a wild ball to first base. Guess what? Dominic Smith scooped it up, picked it up, and he looked good at first base. But once again, your first baseman is Pete Alonso. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if Dominic Smith gets about 4 days in a lineup, maybe 5, and 2 of those 5 will be at first base. And that's okay. If Pete Alonso can DH 2 out of the 6 times he's in the lineup, I'm okay with that. He has to adjust. I know he doesn't like it, but guess what? You're a professional. You do what you got to do for your team. And Pete Alonso's a team guy. Even though he don't like it, he hit the grand slam yesterday as the DH. Not saying anything. He did strike out 3 times as well. But at the end of the day, this lineup from 1 through 9 is just quality at bats after quality at bats. This is what I talked about. We were talking about this, and I was saying this over and over again during the offseason when we knew what our roster was for the most part. This team was not going to be a murderer's row, dashing home runs all over the yards type of team. This team was going to be 100% manufacturing runs. That's what they have done. Sack flies, stolen bases, getting the key base hit with 2 outs, doubles, singles, stealing bases, everything in between, sack flies, everything that you have to do to manufacture runs. This team has done it over the last 3 games. Again, they are playing the Nationals, one of the worst teams in baseball. Understandable. But a good team beats up on the bad teams. And the Mets have shown that. The Phillies have shown that against the A's so far. The Braves had a little bit of trouble with the Reds over the last couple of games. But they're also a team that has to beat up on the bad teams. If you don't beat up on the bad teams in your league or in general, you probably are not going to have a better record than teams in your division. You might even miss the playoffs. So that's the biggest key right now. Beat up on the bad teams, take advantage of the bad teams, keep on manufacturing runs like the Mets are doing, hitting key home runs like McNeil did in Game 2 to tie up the game early on, 1-1 in Game 2, and Pete Alonso in the middle part of the game going deep, hitting the grand slam, and that was basically the game-winning hit that we noticed, obviously, later on in the game when the game ended, obviously. So that's what the Mets have to do. Hit key home runs when they need them and manufacture runs. This is the lineup the Mets put together because it's much more balanced. And everybody, it's from Escobar, Connor, Marte, the 3 new guys that we got offensively. and the new guys that we signed. These guys are just professional hitters. It's great to see. So let's see what we got in the comments, guys. I'm going to start from the very top. So we got about 15 minutes until game time. So get all your comments in now before we start the game day through MLB.com. And I will do the radio call with Howie and Wayne. Let's see who got some interesting. Lendog says, no way Carrasco gives up too many first inning runs. Yes, he does. But that was last year. He struggled a little bit in spring training. But again, let's see how he does first start of the year. He could surprise a lot of us. Again, all we're looking for from your fourth starter, just forget about the name Carlos Carrasco. Because when you look at the name, Met fans get upset. Just look at the position he is. He is your number 4 starter at the moment. Number 4 starter. Go around the league. Your number 4 starter is usually a guy you expect 5, on occasion 6 innings, around 2 to 3 runs. If Carlos Carrasco gives you that, that's a quality start for your number 4 hitter, your number 4 pitcher, excuse me. And you expect your lineup to pick up the slack and help them out. That's what you're supposed to do. The Mets scored on average 5 runs a game, right? They scored 7 runs the other night. They scored 5 runs last night. And they also scored 5 runs on opening day. So in total, they scored 17 runs in 3 games. I'm looking at my scorecard while we're talking the Mets lineup right now. And with Cookie Carrasco as well, too many people get really focused on the names. Like Tyler McGill, on paper, is the 5th man in a rotation. But guess what? He pitched like a number 2 or a solid number 3 on opening day. So if you get rid of the name and just look at what you need from that particular starter that day, the Mets basically have close to their opening day lineup today. So yesterday was basically a subpar lineup, but they found a way to scratch out 5 runs. Even though it was mostly on the grand slam of Pete Alonso, they still manufactured 1 more run later in the game. So the Mets have basically their key opening day starting lineup today. So the reason why they're putting everybody that they think can manufacture runs, hit home runs, and get a bunch of runs is because your 4th and 5th starter, you expect them to give 2, 3, 4 runs, and you expect in your lineup to pick up the slack and pick up the pitcher. That's what the Mets are trying to do this season. When Scherzer's on the mound, yeah, you might be able to, put Luis Guillorme in and give Lindor a day off, or give Escobar a day off, or give Cano a day off, or the same thing like they did yesterday. Put Jankowski out there, knowing that you're getting Max Scherzer, who is probably going to go 6, 7 innings and give you 3 runs or less, probably even less than that. And the same thing with Bassett yesterday. The Buck Showalter trusted Bassett to give up maybe 2 runs, 1 or 2 runs. Say, all right, you know what? We can give guys the day off. Put Guillaume in there. Put Jankowski in there. Jankowski has a heck of a game yesterday. And guess what? The Mets only had to score 1 run yesterday, and they would have won the game. So putting out your big lineups for your 4th and 5th starter just tells me that Buck is expecting this lineup to score runs and pick up the slack of the 4th and 5th starter that would probably give up 3 or 4 runs. It's just that simple, guys. Just don't focus on the name too much. Eddie, absolutely 100%. Cookie start will define how this back rotation looks like. Exactly. Again, give me 5 innings. I'll even take 3 or 4 runs. Give me that, and I think that the Mets will have a shot to win the game. That's it. And I think it's just that simple. But 100% agree, Eddie. This back of the rotation is a question mark at this point. There's no doubt about it. Can Carrasco stay healthy? If he's healthy, can he perform? That's one question mark. The other question mark is tomorrow. Taijuan Walker, who's going to face the Phillies on the opening game of the series. Another guy who first half was one of the best pitchers in baseball. Second half, he fell apart. Now, was it injury? Was it just him not pitching too many innings because he hasn't pitched that in the last couple of years? That's possible. But if he's the guy, we don't need him to be the guy he was in the first half. If he's in between what he was in the second half and the first half, if he gives us the 3.8 ERA, close to a 4 ERA. Again, he's your fifth starter at this point. It's not too concerning. Again, if you get first half Taiwan Walker, well, guess what? This is one of the best rotations in baseball. And then now you're talking about a team that can, win a ton of games just based on pitching alone. And on top of that, like I said it on opening day during the long pregame before the opening day game on Friday, I said to you guys, I go, the New York Mets played 4 against the Nationals, 3 against the Phillies, and 3 against the Diamondbacks. The first 10 games, right? Hold on, 6, 3, 9, 6, 4, 7, 10 games of the year. The first 10 games of the year. The Mets, I think, can easily go 7-3. Easily. And that's it. We can even lose 1 or 2 games against the Phillies and destroy the terrible Diamondbacks. But you saw the Diamondbacks, you know what? They played pretty well the last couple of games. They got that comeback against the Padres, and then Beer hit that grand slam. They're a team that can actually do some damage, so you got to be careful. But when we get to opening day, the home opener on Friday, we got most likely it's going to be Bassett on the home opener, and then you're going to have Carrasco on Saturday and Walker on Sunday. So again, with the Philly series, let's leave the Nationals game today in the back burner for a second, and let's talk about the Phillies series. We're going to have Walker, we're going to have McGill, and we're going to have Scherzer in that series. So I feel confident that the Mets can win 2 or 3 of those games. I'm not expecting to win that Walker game. But again, if we take care of business today, we're going into the Philly series 4-0. Not saying we have to tip our cats and wave the World Series trophy around, but guess what? The New York Mets going into Philly 4-0, you can afford to lose 2 out of 3. Not that I want to, but you can afford to, because you got the Diamondbacks coming for our home opener, for our home series, the first home game series of the year, and we could probably sweep them. And guess what? Now the Mets are 7-2. Going into the second week of the season. That's the way I look at it when it comes to that. John, thank you so much about the intro. I wanted to change it up for the new year. B. Watts, I'm 100% again. Oh, thank you. I'll leave it. Why not? We all make mistakes, right? I don't like to hide my mistakes. If I make mistakes, I leave it out there. A little worried about Cookie today. Didn't have the best spring after a pretty subpar season last year. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, if Carrasco can give us 5 innings, 3 or 4 runs, I think we'll be okay. Evo, Cookie needs a bounce back year. Let's hope he can. Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? Every game so far, a player got hit by a pitch. So, again, yesterday was a curveball that just slipped. It just happened to hit it, but it was kind of like, oh, look, again. But, if these guys can't control their fastball, they shouldn't be in the major leagues. Eddie, I think the only rivalry that we have right now is the fact that, if the Mets, I have a pretty good feeling if the Mets are out to a big league like 5, 6, 7 runs, sometime during the game, they're going to plunk somebody. I wouldn't say it's a big rivalry at this point anymore because the Nationals suck, but they are a big rivalry based on the fact that the Mets got hit by pitches, 2 in the face, almost 3 when McCann get hit in the shoulder. Yeah, technically it's a rivalry. They're pissed off at him. So the Mets definitely just want to beat him. But, you hurt them more based on the scoreboard. But I think the Mets will retaliate at some point, maybe not in this series because it's the beginning of the year. But later on in the year, we may have that opportunity. We still play them 15 more times. So, but again, the biggest rivalries right now are the Phillies and the Braves, obviously. There's an error on the pin message. Oh, what can we do? It is what it is. Let's see. What else we got? Eddie's Cano's looking good. I'm pulling him to play the entire season healthy. I hope so. Like it says, if he continues this path and Buck Showalter works on his days off and gives him a chance, I think we'll be okay. And I think Cano will be fine. He's looked good. Rob, do you think no, I don't think they're gonna trade for Salvador Perez. Kansas City, they got the young up and coming talent coming up. Witt Jr. looks good. They're not moving Salvador Perez. JD, what's up, buddy? Angel, a member of Talking Mets Rob. How you doing? No, Ken, exactly. Look, the Nationals 2, 3, and 4. Juan Soto, Bell, and Cruz. They can easily beat you up. There's no doubt about that. So I mean, it's crazy. It's actually really crazy. And I kind of think that you know people was like, oh, the Nationals are bad. Yeah, they're bad. Their bullpen's terrible. Their starting pitching is bad. But you know what? Their lineup's not that terrible. When you got Soto, Bell, Cruz, Ruiz, who's shown he can hit. Victor Robles scares me time for time. Lance Thomas is an up and coming player. They got talent. They're just not equipped right now to be a really good team. And the Mets are taking advantage of that. Yeah, I do like Jankowski. I'm probably not going to get to all your comments, guys, because we got about 10 minutes until game time. But Stoney, a member of Talking Mets Rob. What's up, guys? I wouldn't give the ball to David Peterson just yet. Marte is not in the lineup tonight. He played every game so far. So give him a rest. Again, he's not a young guy either. He's 30, 31, 32 years old. So you got to give him a break every now and then. You rest him tonight. You already took the series, so you're not too worried if you happen to lose today, which would suck. But if they lose, they lose. But you know what? You're going to have him ready to go for the Philly series because he's probably going to play all three for that. Mets Nation, 2 runs, 5 innings. If he gives us that, I'll be extremely excited about that. Because that's more than a quality start for a number 4 pitcher. I think that would be perfect. ZA Lindor got to get going. Absolutely, I think he showed a little bit. Getting hit in the face can rattle your brain a little bit. But he had a nice double yesterday to left center. He's been hitting the ball the other way, so I think he's gonna get going. I'm not worried about that. Joe, how you doing? Let's get the brooms out. Absolutely. Mark, I'm not gonna go that far yet. I like to take it one game at a time. There's no reason why we have to go crazy about talking World Series. Talking when we make the playoffs, then I'll start talking about that. But of course, I'm excited. But just because they beat the Nationals doesn't mean the Mets are World Series bound. Sledge, how you doing, buddy? Travis, absolutely, man. Awesome start. Let's keep it going. Yeah, well, you know what? First 3-0 starts since 2012, and 2012 wasn't a really good year for the Mets. So Joe says, "Yeah, we still have no deal, but the lockout's over." All right, guys. So we see Carrasco right now on SNY. He's warm up, throwing warm ups in the outfield right now, warming up. So he looks ready to go. Again, it's a little chilly in Washington, so we will wait and see what Carrasco can do. Let's see if the Mets can score some runs early and get on the board on the first inning. Give him a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, Angel, absolutely. I mean, he doesn't, he throws like what, 92, 91, 92, I think was on the gun. Occasionally he hit 93 on a fastball, but he has 6 pitches. He has the sinker, he has the cutter, he got the changeup, got the curveball, got the slider. He had so many pitches that, look, he confused so many pitchers on batters yesterday. And what he did with Juan Soto, going 3-0 and then striking him out, blowing a fastball by him that was 93 miles an hour. And that's crazy. So once again, guys, the game is on SNY if you're in the area in New York. If you're not in either the vicinity of Washington or New York, you get to watch the game on MLB Network. So you can actually watch it because it is the game on MLB Network out of when you're out of the area of New York or Washington's vicinity. So there you go. So we got about 5 minutes until game time. So I'm gonna put up the game day right now so we can end the call from Howie Rose and Wayne Randazzo. So I'm gonna hook that up right now. Let me just change everything. Let me just get it set up for you guys. Get that comment. So we're going to share the screen right now and get ready to go. Let me just fix that for you guys so you got a good angle. All right, guys. There we go. So it's gonna look like this, and it's also gonna play the radio call as well. Let me just get it started for you guys. All right, James. So you're in Jersey, so yeah, you're kind of stuck. I don't know. You probably get SNY. Yeah, Lendog. You know what? I tried that not last year, and they kind of kicked me. They kicked me off the stream, so it's kind of hard sometimes. YouTube is very funny with that. They can easily figure it out with the VPN. Trust me, I tried. All right, so let me just make sure we get the video call rolling. Now, there we go.
Pitch. When we return on the WCBS.
There we go. So we got the radio call ready to go. I got my scorecard ready. So we're going to get ready for Mets versus Nationals with Cookie Carrasco on the mound against Eric Fetty. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, you know, if you're in Jersey, you kind of, I mean, if you don't have SNY, you kind of, I mean, you can download the SNY app. That would help you. That might be able to help you. If you're in the New York, New Jersey, you know, the tri-state, you might get lucky with that. But the game's ready to start on the TV just now. Once again, guys, I'm streaming the radio call, so it's going to be behind what you see on your screen, or it's going to be a little ahead of what you see on your screen, and the stream is a little bit behind the actual SNY broadcast. So, see me get excited. You see me say what's going on. Don't get too mad because this is what happens about it. So, there you go. So that's how it really goes when here. So once again, guys, if you just tuned in, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. And it looks like it's a little drizzling in Washington right now. They're showing on TV. So it's windy, it's cloudy, it's chilly, and wet. So let's hope everybody gets out of this healthy and the Mets go to Philadelphia 4-0. So until we get the game started, let's see what else we got. So Lendon said I streamed the MLB TV games here in Jersey. Okay, that's cool. Travis, yeah, absolutely, man. You'll be with the 7 line. Yeah, man. I'll be with my dad too on Saturday. So yeah, we'll have a pretzel and we'll have some fun. Watch the Met game and, you know, have a good time with the 7 line. Oh, Dean, that's awesome. I'm glad. Look, I can't show the live feed because of copyright issues, but at least I get the radio call for you guys and game day on MLB.com. So at least I get that for you. Nobody really does live streams like similar. Some do, but I try to do it often as can because I got a lot of people on opening day saying they couldn't watch the game. So at least you get an idea. You get the radio call. You get the what's going on during the game on there. So it's pretty cool. And Lane, great. Let's hope we get the win today. I'll be happy if we go 4-0 going to Philadelphia. It makes me a little more calm when we play in Philadelphia. All right, guys. So the radio call is going to start just now. So we hear Wayne Randazzo and Howie Rose. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, and every in between innings, I'll pop back on and talk about the inning. So here we go. Mets and Nationals to be starting in about 2 minutes. So listen to Howie Rose and Wayne Randazzo. All right, Travis. Have a good day, buddy.
Trying to start 4-0 for the first time since 2012 and for just the 5th time in franchise history. And they'll lead off with center fielder Brandon Nimmo. Francisco Lindor is the shortstop. Lindor batting second today. The third hitter, second baseman Robinson Cano. Batting in the cleanup spot, fresh off his first career grand slam last night, Pete Alonso. Alonso at first base again as he hits the number 4 spot in the order. Alonso with his 107th career homer yesterday. His next one will tie him with Jose Reyes on the all-time Mets home run list. Eduardo Escobar at third base. Escobar is hitting 5th. The 6th hitter is designated hitter Dominic Smith. Smith played first yesterday while Alonso DH'd. It's reversed today. Mark Canha's in right field. He has started each of his 3 games in 3 different spots in the outfield. First in center, then in left. today in right. Canada's batting 7th.
Let's go Mets,
Jeff
guys. Here we
McNeil,
go.
6 hits in his first 3 games in left field, batting 8th. And the catcher, Tomas Nido, hitting 9th, with Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Mets this afternoon. Washington 0-3. They've scored a grand total of 4 runs on 14 hits in 3 games. And Davey Martinez will once again have Cesar Hernandez leading off and playing second base. Nothing wrong with the bat.
Just let me know, guys, if you can hear the radio call with no problem.
10 with a homer. Soto in right field batting second. Nelson Cruz has been cold. 1 for 12 in this series. Cruz, the DH, hitting third. Josh Bell at first base bats cleanup. The catcher, Keibert Ruiz, hits 5th. Yadiel Hernandez in left field is batting 6th. Batting in the 7th spot, third baseman Maikel Franco. We'll see the major league debut of Bahamian shortstop Lucius Fox. Fox is hitting in the number 8 spot. The Nationals hoping to get some production from somewhere at the bottom of their order, so Fox is in there instead of Alcides Escobar today. The number 9 batter for Washington is their center fielder, Victor Robles. Eric Fetty on the mound, taking his warm-up tosses. The Nationals wear their City Connect outfits again today. Dark gray jerseys with ivory pants, some pink undertones as well. It's a floral jersey. White letters WSH across the front, outlined in pink. White numbers on the backs of the jersey as well. Really ivory numbers on the backs of the jerseys with the pink outlining. Dark gray caps and bills with the cherry blossoms on the side. Ivory letter
All right, guys, so Nimmo's walking to the plate right now on TV. QT, my day's going good, as long as the Mets win. So Nimmo's coming up at the plate right now, guys. So the radio call is somewhat synced with the TV. It's a little bit behind, so just so you guys know.
For the New York Mets. Brandon Nimmo is done greeting everybody at home plate. Eric Fetty ready to go on the mound for the Washington Nationals. And for the finale of this 4-game series, handed off to the radio voice of the New York Mets, Howie Rose.
Well, thank you, Wayne. You know, Brandon's such a pleasant kid. He wouldn't dare step into the box without the normal greetings, but we're good to go. It's Eric Fetty in a compact windup, left leg kick, first pitch of the game, a fastball right down the middle.
So we're about a pitch behind on the radio call, guys, all right? Hey, Brad, what's up?
An on-base machine. Did not start opening night, but he was on base 3 times in 5 trips, 2 nights, or last night, and 2 times in 5 trips the first one. Fastball on the inside corner to him, and so he's behind 0-2. Not that that's any big deal, because you know how often he'll climb out of 0-2 holes and very often run it full. So Brandon Nimmo just continues to reach base with regularity, something he's done his entire career. The 0-2 on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3.
That was a bad at-bat by Nimmo. That's probably the quickest at-bat for Nimmo in his career.
Slurvy curve. One out,
all right, so Lindor's coming up to the plate right now. Once again, guys, we're about a pitch behind on the radio call.
They have Bell at first, Hernandez at second.
Lindor is 2 for 9 on the year with 1 RBI.
Big league debut at short, and Maikel Franco is at third with Yadiel Hernandez, Robles, and Soto.
And it looks like the sun's coming out in Washington, so that's a good sign. A little bit warmer. It's very windy, though.
Is back behind the plate for the Nationals, catching Eric Fetty. Last year went 7-9. Here's Lindor, switch hitter batting left. Takes fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Francisco in last night's game went 1 for 3. He's 2 out of 9 to start the season. Sun breaking through here. The 1-0 on the way with the infield overshifted as a changeup in for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lindor. No sooner do we say that, then the sun goes back amongst the clouds, and it's going to be that kind of afternoon. No rain in the forecast as of this moment. Infield overshifted, the 1-1. Up foul, straight back and out of play, and the count 1-2. So what's your weather word for today?
Well, I used blustery.
Blustery, that works.
Yeah, especially with the window open. Maybe you have a different weather word because you're sitting in a different environment.
Yeah, you know what my weather word is? Comfort, baby! Got the window closed. Not looking for any style points. The 1-2 curve is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So as the afternoon progresses here, it's supposed to get warmer, and it's already feeling warmer than it was 10 or 15 minutes ago.
That's okay. We'll open them up in Philadelphia. The weather's supposed to be pretty good there. Although I don't think we have much of an option in Philly as far as the windows are concerned in our booths.
Right.
Here's the 2-2 on the way. Pulled on the ground into the shift. Hernandez in short right field. Up with it, throws to first in time. Lindor is out, and there are 2 men away.
So Cano is 3 for 7 on the season with 2 RBIs and 929 OPS.
The umpires today, Ryan Addington at home plate. Buck Showalter will be monitoring every pitch with special care because Buck was joking a few days ago when this series and season started that he released Ryan Addington's brother when his brother was in the Orioles system several years ago. So Buck's going to facetiously suggest that there might be some revenge on the table today. Mark Carlson, the crew chief, is at first. Chris Cuccione at second. Jordan Baker at third. And here's Cano. Shift on against the left-hand batter. A fastball outside for ball one. Robinson Cano, 3 out of 7 to start the year. He is at second base today. He's been the designated hitter. Mets continue to move that designated hitter title around over these first 4. The 1-0, pop foul into the seats downstairs and out of play, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Buck is committed to getting everybody who will play various or multiple positions early opportunities at all of those that they expect to play, including the DH slot. And he really hopes the game evolves to a point where he can get Trevor Williams and Chasen Shreve into the game out of the bullpen today because they haven't pitched yet. 1-1 pitch to Cano, foul back to the screen, 1-2. So far, the Mets have pitched beautifully against a very weak overall lineup that the Nationals present. Mets have pitched to composite 1.33 earned run average, but as far as their offense is concerned, well, they've got the best batting average and on-base percentage in the major leagues this first few days of the year. And again, that's also a reflection of a pitching staff that really figures to struggle here in Washington, where they should lose over 90 games again. Here's the 1-2. Hit hard towards first, snapped in short right field by Hernandez, the second baseman. Throws to first in time. Side retired.
All right, guys. So the Mets went 1-2-3. Cano hit it pretty sharply, but Hernandez made a nice play to throw him out. So we're going to the bottom of the first with no score. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. Let's get the stream out to more people. We'll be with you through the entire game. We'll get you back in the bottom of the first with Wayne and Howie's call and put game day back on for you guys. So, again, the Mets went pretty quickly. Nimmo had a bad at-bat, 3 strikes, and that was basically it for him. Lindor grounded out to Cesar Hernandez as well, and then Cano hit it sharply, but Hernandez with the nice play to end in. And so Mets didn't give any run support in the first for Carrasco, but let's hope Carrasco can get out of the first inning without any damage, because that's been his biggest problem since he's been a Met. His first inning woes have been a huge problem, and it just seems like he's always letting the Mets come from behind in his starts going through the first inning. So let's just hope that Cookie can figure things out and pitch a good game for us and, give up a couple of runs, but keep us in the ball game. So SNY just came back showing the Washington Nationals lineup. And as soon as the radio call comes back, I'll put it on and get my face out of the way so you guys can watch the game. All right, so the radio call's back, so I'll see you after the inning, guys.
Your guide, transforming your tax
sorry,
strategy.
it's not on yet. Sound like it. All right, so SNY showing the game, Carrasco on the mound, and it sounds like we're going back. So there we go. Let's get rid of wait until the the little advertisement goes away, and then we're good. All right, so the radio calls back, guys. Here we go.
Monitor to see if they're showing something, and I don't know exactly what the nature of that is. And who knows? Maybe nature is the operative term. We've got a mini delay while we wait for Pete to come back. And for Carlos Carrasco, well, he's waited a long time to solidify himself in the Mets rotation because, remember, he came over in the Francisco Lindor deal last year, and then he wound up missing the first 3 months of the season with a hamstring injury, and here comes Pete now. Then he underwent elbow surgery after the season to clear clean up some debris in there. And Alonso steps right on the edge of the back of the mound as he heads towards first base. Says something to Carlos Carrasco. And so Carlos taking his first turn in the rotation, something he hopes to do upwards of 30 times this year. You know about his long struggles. We'll explain as we go along. But here's Cesar Hernandez batting left-handed. Takes a fastball outside for ball one. In case you didn't know, it was in September of 2019.
So Carrasco's fastball is around 91, 92 at the
back
moment.
To the then Cleveland Indians after a diagnosis of chronic myeloid leukemia. He missed just 3 months and made a comeback. Throws outside, 2 balls.
So they
and
show
no
the
strikes
stat:
now.
18 of 36,
Former
50% of his
Cesar
earned runs
Hernandez.
allowed in the first inning last season.
And
That has to
Carrasco
change.
still trying to get absolutely right
Up.
ever since then.
Sped it
And
up
he
to
does.
94 on
He
the
can find
on
form
the
that he had
strike, so
earlier
that's
in his
looking good.
career. Then the Mets might have a dependable starter to pad out the back end of the rotation. Last year was largely a struggle, though. The 2-0 on the way, swing and a miss at a fastball at 94 miles an hour. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Carrasco winning just 1 game in 12 starts, pitching to an ERA of 6.04. And he had trouble keeping the ball in the park. He allowed 12 home runs in 53 2/3 innings last year. Infield overshifted. The 2-1 to Hernandez. Pop foul going off to the left and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carrasco certainly not a youngster by baseball standards. He turned 35 years of age last month. But he's 11 wins away from becoming the 8th Venezuelan-born pitcher to get to 100 big league wins. Pitch now to Hernandez. Bounce foul right into
If you're not
the
watching
Washington
the last
dugout
why
on
the Mets are playing the
first base
shift
side.
to the right side right now
Carrasco
in the infield.
89 and 78 in his career. One of the things he had uncharacteristic problems with last year, apart from the number or really percentage of home runs against innings pitched, the fact that he struggled more against righties than he had before. 2-2 to Hernandez, batting left-handed, fouled straight back and out of play.
Oh, Kiki,
He
let's
said
go.
the reason for that was because of his split change. Normally, he likes to throw that down and into a right-handed
Hernandez
batter.
is
He
battling,
really didn't have
making
that
him
pitch
pitch,
available to him
making him
last
work.
year. It cost
Already
him big
7
time
pitches
against
in the
right-handed
at-bat,
hitters.
leading off.
Maybe the cleaning out that elbow will be the catalytic force in regaining the bite on that pitch. 2-2 on the
Gio,
way.
I'm not worried about Lindor
Luke
yet.
foul
Not
the
yet.
other way. Hernandez having a good at-bat as he dunks another
Too
foul
early to
ball
worry
in the
about that
lower
yet.
level seats behind
But,
the
you know,
third
2
base
for
dugout.
10, it's a
You
little
know, when
worrisome,
the
but he did get hit in the
split-fingered
face, so it could have
fastball
messed
or
with
split
his head a
change
little bit.
became all the
Carrasco with
rage
a
in the
fastball,
1980s.
and he struck out
It was
Cesar
said
Hernandez
that
on a
the danger
fastball.
of that
I know I'm a
pitch
little ahead,
was
but
injuring your
just wanted to
elbow.
give it out there. So Carrasco looks good so far.
Obviously continued to have problems
But the
with
big
it
boys are
along
coming
the
up in the
way.
lineup.
Carrasco, an example. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Came back, got him with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
So Carrasco has a
So,
4-seam,
Carlos
curveball, sinker,
Carrasco
slider, and
wins an
changeup. He uses his
8-pitch duel
4-seam
with
a
a
lot.
leadoff hitter. One
But
up,
95
one
miles an
down.
hour on
That'll
that
bring up
fastball. It looks
Juan
good.
Soto. And the Mets defensive alignment is sponsored by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experiencing orthopedic pain? They've got specialists for that. Let's have Alonso at first, Cano at second, Lindor at short, and Escobar at third.
Let's see how
McNeil in
he
left field
pitches
today.
Soto
Nimmo
right now.
and Canna, center and right. Nito catching. Starling Marte is getting the afternoon off for now. So here's Soto. First pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. Soto has only seen Carrasco once before. He homered against him. And Soto's next home run will be the 100th of his nascent and brilliant big league career. A 1-0. Breaking ball for a called strike. Good slider there, and the count 1-1. Soto batting in the
And
2 hole. That's the plan
Carrasco
for manager Dave Martinez
gave a
of the
pop-up,
Nationals
and Jeff
all year.
McNeil catches it 2 outs.
A lot of that, of course, has to do with the DH in the National League. You can get a better hitter ninth, more RBI chances. The 1-1 hit high in the air, shallow left. In comes McNeil, still coming, now there, and he makes the catch. There are 2 men away. Soto flies to left, 2 out, nobody on. And Nelson Cruz will be the batter. Cruz off to a slow start. Just 1 out of 12 in this series.
Yeah, Ken, you know, it's still early with Lindor, so.
42 years of age.
But I'm not worried just yet. But you know what?
plenty
You know who
of
I do like right
Carlos
now? Carrasco's looking
over
good.
the
He looks
course of his
sharp on the mound so
career, but
far. He
they
looks
go back
warmed
quite
up. He
a
looks
ways.
loose.
So you
Got
wonder
12 pitches
how
so
relevant
far.
the numbers are
You know, had
as
that battle
both of
with
those
Hernandez
players
leading
reached
off.
advanced baseball
Got him
age.
out,
More
and
so
then,
Cruz.
got Soto out kind of
First
quickly.
pitch
So
on
we can
the
get a
way.
1-3
Breaking
here,
ball
hopefully.
is low, 1-0. Cruz 11 for 30 with 4
Oh.
home runs
Boy.
against Carrasco. I could read a lot of things into those numbers.
Well,
but once you
I
get
shouldn't
up
have
into
said
the
nothing.
age
I just
range
jinxed it.
of Cruz
Nelson
and
Cruz
to a
should have
somewhat
solo
lesser
home run.
extent Carrasco, maybe those numbers don't mean quite as much. The 1-0 on the way. Fastball lined in the air pretty deep to left. Going back, McNeil way back. It might go, and it's gone for a home run. Well, guess what? Those career numbers still mean a lot to Nelson Cruz.
That sucks.
That is his
Spoke too soon.
450th Major League home run. The 5th time that he's taken Carlos Carrasco deep. He hit it to the corner of the Mets bullpen in left center field. Cruz's first home run of the year, and the Nationals have a 1-0 lead.
Remember last year, Carrasco allowed 12 home runs. 8 of them were in the first inning. And a first inning home run here as Washington grabs the lead for only the second time in this series. Nelson Cruz on a fastball, knee-high, inner half, drilled it. Well, those numbers,
Again, it's a solo home run. Wasn't meant on base, so it's not terrible.
And that combination.
But, he left it over the middle of the plate. Cruz is going to crush
Josh
that.
Bell. First pitch on the way, a fastball outside, ball 1.
Carrasco's just got to limit the damage. Get out of the first inning with 1 run. I can deal with that.
That's why Cruz is here, to hit behind Soto and give him some protection. Bell can do that as well, lengthening the lineup a little bit. It's still a thin lineup overall. The 1-0 on the way, bounced foul along the first baseline past Coach Eric Young Jr. in the count 1-1 strike. Bell 3 out of 10 to start the year with 1 run batted in. Correct that, 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. Keibert Ruiz waiting on deck. Carrasco to the belt, the 1-1 pitch. Up in the air, foul outside third. That'll slice into the seats. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the former Pittsburgh Pirate, Josh Bell. Mets have 1 more pitcher to get them through the first turn in the rotation. That's Taijuan Walker. Backed up a little bit because of some residual knee soreness after his surgery. The 1-2 taken low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Soreness probably isn't even the right word. Just a little something they felt, trying to manage it. Well, Walker's going to make his first start tomorrow night in Philly against lefty Ranger Suarez. Then McGill and Scherzer will face Wheeler and Nola. Should be a fun series in Philly. 2-2 pitch. Hit hard to right field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Played on the first hop by Canna. And Bell rounds first and holds on with a 2-out single. So Cruz hit 1 hard for a home run. And now Bell squares up the single with 2 out. And it'll bring up Keibert Ruiz. Ruiz catching for the 3rd time in the 4 games played between these teams. And there's a chance that he'll approximate that ratio as the season wears on if he continues to play as he has over the first 2 games that he's been in. That's both sides of the ball. He's swung the bat well. And also an outstanding throwing arm was displayed, throwing out Starling Marte. Swings and misses at a curveball here. The count 0-1. 9 in the count here, 1 strike. But he's got 45 plate appearances without a strikeout. That's actually the longest active stretch for any hitter in the major leagues right now. And it just, it's not a gigantic number. They laugh at it 20 years ago, but it just speaks to how prevalent the strikeout is in this game right now. The 0-1 on the way. Taken low, a curve, 1 ball and 1 strike. 45 plate appearances without a strikeout. The year that Joe DiMaggio had his 56-game hitting streak, you know how many times he struck out all year?
20.
I think it was 13, actually. Seriously, I think it was 13.
Incredible.
Well, he was Joe DiMaggio, of course.
Yeah, Jolton Joe.
Yeah, they write songs about guys like that. They haven't written one about Keibert Ruiz yet. The 1-1 taken high outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. But again, 43 plate appearances or 45 without a strikeout. It's Impressive in particular for an inexperienced hitter like Ruiz. But it just tells you how epidemic the strikeout has become around baseball. 1-0 Washington, 2 out last of the first. Josh Bell held on by Alonso. 2-1 pitch. Dribbled foul over by the Washington dugout on the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was the split change there that had Ruiz out in front. Yadiel Hernandez, a left-hand batter, waits on deck.
DiMaggio has an important figure in Italian-American life as Frank Sinatra or Enrico Fermi or anybody like that.
Rico Palazzo.
Well, maybe not him.
He's big. Great umpire. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Again, reaching a little bit. Hitters will often let you know when that pitcher has a good changeup going because you saw, or you would have anyway if you were here, Keibert Ruiz lunge at that pitch a little bit. And that's what Carrasco wants. He wants to get that hitter out in front of that change or split change. If he gets the hitter to swing and miss, all the better. But you get a lot of weak contact when you get that hitter off stride the way Ruiz was. 2-2 the count. Carrasco to the belt. Bell leads from first the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to right. Well hit but playable. Marcana under it. Makes the two-hand catch, side retired. A run on 2 hits. Home run by Cruz.
All right, guys. So we did get out of it with 1 hit, 1 run. So that's not too bad. Again, we're expecting Carrasco to go 5 innings. Hopefully, he already had 24 pitches already. 3 or 4 runs. That's what I like. So 1 run, it's a solo home run. It's not terrible. We got to let our offense do the work. And, that's what you do with your 4th and 5th starters. Let your offense do the work. That's exactly what they have to do. I don't like that he almost had 25 pitches in the first. That's not a good sign, because he might – I don't think he'll go past 70 pitches today, Carrasco. So, 25 pitches, that's like 4 innings right there. But let's hope he can get a quick inning. He's going to the bottom of the lineup. Hernandez, Franco, Fox in the bottom of the Nationals lineup. And the Mets have Alonso, Escobar, and Smith going to the top of the second. And the Mets are down 1-0 on the Nelson Cruz bomb to left center field. But again, Carrasco, after the first inning, usually pitches a lot better. So we just have to wait and see, Just got to wait and see. But, it could have been worse, He did pitch well to Soto. He pitched well to Hernandez. He battled them. So, again, I didn't see the lack of control that we seen from Carrasco last year. So, what worried me about Carrasco last year was his lack of control. He had control in his first inning. He just left the pitch over the plate for Cruz low and in, and Cruz crushed it. So it's a big difference from last year with Carrasco. Carrasco had a hard time locating last year. This year, he just made 1 bad pitch, and that's basically it. So I'm not worried about it yet. Again, it happens. Nelson Cruz is one of the better hitters in the game. This guy's a masher. He just left it over the plate. It is what it is. All right, so Peter Alonso's coming to the plate. I'm going to play the radio call, guys.
Nelson Cruz with a solo home run against Carlos Carrasco has the Nationals out in front 1-0. And Eric Fetty, who was really looking to finally establish himself and justify his first round number 18 overall selection 8 years ago, was impressive in the top of the first, getting the Mets in order, a strikeout and 2 ground balls. Now facing Pete Alonso. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter, a fastball taken high, ball 1. And I don't know, it was just 1 pitch, but I think as important as the grand slam that Alonso hit last night on a 2-1 pitch certainly was, 1-0 on the way, a breaking ball misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. To me, maybe it was the previous pitch thrown by Yohan Adon that was impressive in its own way, because Alonso, with the bases loaded, was ahead in the count 2-0. He is now again in the 2-0 pitch, and on the ground up the middle, diving stop by the shortstop. Fox throws from his knee, 1 hop, he got him. About
Wow, that's a great play by
Lucius
Fox.
Fox in his major league
Can't do nothing there.
debut
Alonso hit it hard.
takes a
That
base
was
hit
a
away
great play.
from Pete Alonso with a nifty diving play to his left, one man
Very
away.
nice play.
Nicely done by
Strong
Lucius
arm,
Fox.
too.
They put him in there to energize the offense a little bit. They just energized on a defensive play as he made the diving stop to his left and an accurate throw from his knees to retire Pete.
So that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. The point I was starting to make about Alonso was that, he had the best of all hitter situations, right? Bases loaded in a scoreless game and a hit in the count 2-0. He had to know he was going to get a fastball on 2-0, and he did. Pitch to Escobar shows bunt, takes on the outside corner, a sinker, a called strike one. But it wasn't right down the middle of the plate. It wasn't exactly where he wanted it, and yet it was a strike. It was up on the outside corner, and Pete spit on it. The 0-1, swing and a miss by Escobar, no balls and 2 strikes. But the point is, when Alonso was a year or 2 or 3 younger, maybe a little less, shall we say, developed as a hitter, he might have been a little over-anxious there. The 0-2 rolled off the fists towards first. Bell to his right has it. Shovels underhand to Fetty covering, and there are 2 men away. But to have the maturity to be able to take that pitch, say I'm still in a great spot, 2-1, he's probably got to come in with another fastball. And that certainly was the case. Odone came with a fastball, and Alonso crushed it for the grand slam. So 2 out, nobody on. We'll pause here for station ID on the WCBS Mets Radio Network.
It matters where you get your news.
Very accountable and consistent.
WCBS News Radio.
Howie Rose, Wayne Randazzo with you in Washington. 2 out, nobody on. Top 2, Dom Smith, the batter, takes a breaking ball a little bit low for ball 1. Smith and Buck Showalter wanted to make sure to point this out before the game. Has been in all 4 games the Mets have played. This is his second start. He's the DH today. A 1-0 on the way. Fastball drilled in the air to straightaway center, right at Victor Robles. Only now does he even move slightly to his left and makes the 2.
All right, so the Mets didn't do nothing in the top of the second. Nationals to lead 1-0 on a Nelson Cruz home run in the first. So Fetty's pitching well right now. Alonso hit it hard. Fox made a great play at short. You can't do nothing about that. So again, Fetty's one of the actual pitchers in this rotation, other than Corbin, that has major league experience, who is pretty decent. He's one of the guys that they were counting on over the next couple of years. So Fetty's a decent pitcher. He's not great, but again, it's early. Again, the Mets have done their damage this year in the middle part of the game. 4th, 5th, 6th inning. That's where they did the most damage. Going through the second, third time through the lineup and seeing the pitcher for the second and third time. That's when the Mets usually pick it up. That's basically been their MO for the first 3 games of the year. So we have to wait and see if they keep on doing the same thing. But you know what? Let's just hope Cookie Carrasco gets through that first inning woes and then pitches well going forward. Give us 5 innings, 2 to 3 runs. I'll be happy. Yeah, Joe, they still have Strasburg, but he's hurt right now. Coming back from thoracic outlet syndrome. So that Lane, I don't they might I don't think they're gonna bring Lugo in because they put him in the last 2 games. So maybe we'll see. But again, let's get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th first. Lugo might not come in the 7th if the Mets ain't winning or the game's not close. So we'll see. We don't have Diaz as our closer because he's on bereavement list. So, Lugo could be our closer tonight. So the game's coming back on in SNY, so it should be coming on the radio call just now.
Next series. Let's play responsibly.
Last of the second inning in Washington. The Mets are
All right,
looking to make
here
it a
comes the game,
4-game sweep. Down in front 1-0 on a Nelson Cruz first hitting homer against Carlos Carrasco, who will face 6, 7, and 8 in the Washington batting order, beginning with left-hand hitter Yadiel Hernandez. First pitch on the way, drilled in the air to straightaway center. Nimmo froze at first, now gets back aggressively onto the track and makes the catch. Froze and then located and got there on a well-hit ball by Yadiel Hernandez for the first out here in the third inning. And instructively, there have already been 3 fly ball outs plus the home run. So Carlos Carrasco throwing fly balls to get started.
Let's hope Carrasco goes through a quick inning
I
here.
gave up 12 home runs in just 53 2/3 innings last year.
Already had 20,
Michael
25
Franco,
pitches in the first. 24
during
pitches
his
in the
days
first.
with the
So
Phillies,
he
a
didn't get
Met
out of this
killer.
quick.
Not so much yet with Washington. Right-hand batter, first pitch is a slider outside, ball 1. Mets have held Franco to 0 for 10 in this series. Since leaving the Phillies, Franco has gone to the Royals and the Orioles. 1-0 pitch, in for a called strike on the inside half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Scoreboard update sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. Phillies and A's are scoreless top 4. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a slider. 1-2. That's Dalton Jeffries for the A's against Zach Eflin for Philadelphia. The hard-hitting Blue Jays lead the Rangers 4-0. Top 2 in Toronto. George Springer led off the bottom of the first with a homer, and then Matt Chapman homered with 2 aboard.
It'll be tough getting those guys out.
You better believe it. There's the 1-2. Pulled on the ground to third along the line. A fair ball backhanded by Escobar. Fires to first in time to get Franco 2 men away. He's probably happy they're not going to see the Blue Jays this year until, who knows, maybe October.
It's a built-in advantage. You mentioned the other day it hasn't happened against Texas, but for a team like the Yankees that needs as many wins as possible against a team like that, they're going to go into Toronto with less than their optimum roster because of the unvaccinated status of some of the players who will not be allowed to play in Canada.
Yeah, unless that changes, that's a whole other significant issue. So 2 out, nobody on, and if Lucius Fox is nervous in his big league debut, he didn't show it defensively. Now the switch hitter from the left side for his first big league plate appearance. Carrasco deals, and a little tight slider in for a called strike.
Carrasco looks a lot sharper
Escobar,
this
the
inning.
third baseman, against
A lot
the
sharper.
speed
Breaking
of
balls are a
Fox
lot
playing
sharper.
in tight, right at the edge of the infield
Fastballs are
grass.
located. I like to see that from
The
Carrasco.
outfield
Right now.
straight away. Carrasco works from the belt with nobody on, and the 0-1 swing and a miss at a hard slider down and in. And quickly 0-2 to this kid who was born in the Bahamas. He went to high school in Delray Beach, Florida, and he's actually been the property of 4 other big league organizations. Yet this is his major league debut. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled off. He just got a piece of it at home plate. Couldn't be held by Tomas Nido. Fox originally in the Giants organization and sent to Tampa, Kansas City. He was on the Orioles roster for about 5 minutes during the offseason until he was picked up by the Nationals. He's got one really nice play under his belt, diving to take a hit away from Alonso. 0-2 pitch. Low outside. There's that split change. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He is the 8th Bahamian to ever make it to the major leagues, only the 3rd in the last 10 or 15 years, along with Antoine Richardson and Jazz Chisholm.
Trying to show him it's better in the Bahamas. 1-2. Carrasco delivers, and it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes, missing with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Victor Robles is waiting on deck for Washington. Little thin patches of blue sky avail themselves, but for the most part, we're looking at overcast skies here in Washington. It's been that way most of this weekend. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, buried a slide.
All right, so that was a very nice inning for Sorry about that. So that's exactly what he has to do. You know, his first inning is his biggest problem. Seems like he gets it together after that. So good to see. You know, it's the bottom. It was the bottom of the lineup for the Nationals, but again, that's what we need from Carrasco. He started the find his breaking ball a little bit. He was putting them in the right spots. The first batter hit one almost 400 feet, but he got him out. So, but he looked very good in the second inning. Let's see if he can keep on going with that. And let's see if our lineup. We got Kana, McNeil, and Nito coming up in the top of the third. See if the Mets can score some runs for Carrasco. Give him a little bit of breathing room. All right, Joe. Vegas Dave, let's go Mets, buddy. I'm working on it, Joe. I'm working on it. And John says 162-0, baby. I'm calling it. Well, you know what? That don't mean nothing. You still got to win in the playoffs, right? All right, so the game's going back on TV. They're showing old photos of Buck Showalter playing for Mississippi State. So the game should be starting back now. So we're going to go right back to the radio call. And we'll go from there, guys. So I'll see you back in between innings. All right, a little delayed on TV, so I don't know what's going on, but they should be getting ready. All right, so first pitch is coming to Kana.
Nationals lead the Mets 1-0. Mark Canha, who's been an on-base machine, Wayne, leads off the third for New York.
That's the name of the
4
game
for
for
6
Canha.
with 1
Gets on
RBI,
base a lot,
over a
7 times.
1,000 OPS. So
First
very
two games of
nice
this
start to
series
the season
didn't play
for
yesterday.
Kana.
First pitch, fastball strike in there from Eric Fetty as we come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. I was sucking down the Bigelow Tea this morning.
Atta boy.
Feeling good now.
What's your tea of choice?
I just did an English breakfast.
English
tea.
breakfast, yeah, that's the Sunday best.
0-1. Canha takes upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Mets right fielder today, the Mets center fielder on opening day, and the Mets left fielder on Friday night. He figures to play left field most of the time. But he's a valuable option in terms of his flexibility and can even play the infield. 1 ball, 1 strike, Fetty's pitch. Breaking ball strike lands on the inner half to make it 1-2 on Canha. Right-handed batter certainly has some power. Career high 26 home runs a few years ago. It's 17 last year. McNeil and Nito to follow. Mets have not had a base runner yet against Eric Fetty, who's retired 6 straight. 1 strikeout for Fetty. Works out of the windup. Left leg kick is 1-2. Canha takes a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mark Canha. Eric Fetty is from Las Vegas. Actually faced Bryce Harper in Little League and threw to Harper when they were high school teammates. Remember, Harper was a catcher in high school. But he faced Joey Gallo back in those days, too. Helped to become a first-round pick out of UNLV. 2-2. Fastball missed inside, ball 3. And, we call full counts around here at Nimmo's. Well, Mark Canha gets there, too, quite often. He will work those counts, sees a lot of pitches. He's up to a full count here, 3-2 against Eric Fetty. He peers over the top of his mitt, gets his sign from Ruiz, steps back and deals 3-2. Canha shoots 1 foul toward the right out of play. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Our salute to service presented by our partners at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, who, along with the Mets Radio Network, extend heartfelt thanks to United States Marine Corps Sergeant Marcus Burleson. You can help heroes like Marcus at T2T.org. 3-2 on Canha. Third inning, 1-0 Washington. The 1 run on a homer by Nelson Cruz. Fetty downhill, 3-2 pitch. Swinging a loop toward the right field side. It's going to get fouled. Bell gave it a chase, but it's behind the Washington dugout on the first base side, about 5 rows deep. And it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mark Canha. Outfield straight away. It's warming up a bit. Wind blowing toward the right field corner. It is still a cool and cloudy day in our nation's capital. Canha steps back in. Fetty checks in with Keibert Ruiz. Counts 3-2. Fetty comes home. Canha rips 1 to left. That's a base hit. Mark Canha turns on a 3-2 fastball and drives it into left field. Leadoff single. Mets have their first base runner, their first hit of the game. And a man is on for Jeff McNeil, who has put together a nice weekend to start the year. McNeil has 6 hits. He's tied for the Major League lead in hits through 3 games with the Padres' Eric Hosmer. Seemed that San Diego was anxious to get rid of Hosmer just before the season. The Mets were a particular target. A trade that ended up not happening. And Hosmer has stayed in San Diego, and he's gotten off to a good start. And so has McNeil, who's needed it. McNeil coming off a down year last year where he only hit .250. Hit a ton of ground balls last season. He's hoping to hit more line drives this year, and so far he has. First pitch, outside ball 1. McNeil homered on his birthday the other day for a 2nd straight year. We're going to tell Brad Heller during the pregame show yesterday that he still preferred last year's home run because it was a big deal in the home opener, the first day that fans were allowed back in any capacity at Citi Field. He had a game-tying 9th-inning home run against Miami. The game the Mets eventually won 1-0. Slap to the left, foul and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. A game that was won by a Michael Conforto hit by pitch. And still, April 10th, 4th day of the season, and Michael Conforto still has not been signed by a Major League team. It is incredible. The draft pick will be attached to him until middle of July. So I don't know if he's planning to wait until then or what, but it is really astounding to see Conforto still unsigned. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Low on a changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike on McNeil. I think for Fetty is that they want him to mix his pitches up a little
can get this rally started here.
Heavy toward one particular pitch, whether it was his fastball or his breaking stuff last year.
But what about Kana, guys? Absolutely
fastball, though. It
been
hit hard.
Great for this team so far.
Allowed opponents to bat well over 300, 330 against his sinker.
I like Kana McNeil back to back. I love it a lot.
Left field for a leadoff single. He's at first. Fetty checks with him as Kana dives back. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on McNeil, followed by Tomas Nido. The base hit by Kana, the 18th by a Mets hitter toward the bottom of the order. 6 through 9 for the Mets.
McNeil gets a blue pitch. All right, guys.
6 through 9
Here we
for
go.
Washington, 1. That's a huge disparity now. 2 balls and a strike. Fetty from the belt. His pitch. McNeil lines one toward left center. Back for it is Fox. He won't get there. It's a base hit. Soft line drive off the end of McNeil's bat. Lucius Fox went back, reached for it, but had no chance.
The 2019 McNeil is back, going to left field.
Anna moves up to second.
Shortening up his swing. You gotta love it, guys. You gotta love it.
Nobody out for Tomas Nido.
3 of the 4 games the Mets have played, Jeff McNeil has batted 8th. And you
all right, guys, we got first and second, nobody out with Tomas Nido at the plate. Here we go, man. I feel some runs coming. Manufacturing runs like this team does.
But, boy, for Jeff McNeil to be as productive as he's been hitting 8th is impressive enough.
Get it back to the top of the lineup. Let's go.
Hit a little higher up in the order. You would think this is a pretty deep batting order right now.
Deep batting order and a deep bench, too. If some of these guys that are sitting today are starters sometimes. Starling Marte not in the lineup. J.D. Davis not in the lineup. He has started plenty of times himself. 2 on, nobody out as Nido stands in. 1-0. Washington has the lead. Nido's in there for McCann. For the first 4 games, they've split the catching duties 2-2. Canna's at second base. McNeil at first. Nobody out. Mets trying to get on the board, down 1-0. Pitch. Nido looks at a strike. Fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1. The corners are pinching in. Bell stepping back a couple of steps now to get himself even with first. Franco's even at third. Just in case Nido tries to bunt the runners over here, which we did see him attempt to do the other day. Nido did have a sacrifice bunt in the game on Friday. No balls, 1 strike on Nido.
Let's get some runs for Carrasco.
Against the righty Fetty as the sun bursts out. First pitch. Wave and a miss on a breaking ball. It's actually the 0-1 pitch. Now it's 0-2 on Tomas Nido.
That's right, Gio.
Sunshine today. And really
we got an 0-2 count on Nido. First and second, nobody out. Top third. Mets losing 1-0.
Fetty trying to work out of trouble. 2 strikes on Nido. Eddie had a 5.47 ERA last year. Trying to work him here in the third. 0-2. Ball low. Nito laid off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's go, Tomas.
Fetty had a 6.80 ERA in the second half last year, at least from June 23rd to the end. He allowed 18 homers last 82 innings last season. 28 years old, he's trying to make his mark. Big league rotation. Made 27 starts last year, but really tailed off from about the middle of the season on. The Nationals are hoping that they can get what they expected out of a first-round pick. He had Tommy John surgery right before the draft. Well, some thought he could have been a top 10 pick back in 2014. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nito, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Not a good at bat by Nito, not at all.
So Fetty gets a big out.
Absolutely, Christian. Kana has been excellent. On base percentage, 800, 5 for 7, 3 walks. OPS over 1,000. Yeah, Nito didn't have a good at bat. Let's see if Nimmo can have a better at bat than his first at bat. Striking out on 3 pitches.
Fetty. Outfield is fairly shallow. Robles a good arm in center, the best of the 3 outfield arms in there today. Soto with an accurate arm, but not very strong in right. Same for Yadiel Hernandez in left. 1-0 Washington, top of the third. It's knocked around each national starter, usually in the 5th inning in this series. No national starter has gotten past the 5th yet. First pitch. Nimmo takes down an in-ball 1. It's been those second and third times, especially through the order, where the Mets have really done damage against the Washington starters. Patrick Corbin got through the first 4 okay on Thursday and then gave up a couple of the 5th. Josiah Gray allowed 4 runs in 4+ innings Friday. McDone yesterday, 4 scoreless innings, then he allowed 4 in the 5th. Third inning here, the 1-0. Nimmo takes a high strike, and it's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Changeup that came in up. As Fetty gets the count back to level. 1 ball, 1 strike. Canna at second base, McNeil at first. As the Mets try to break through and win their 4th straight. Mets have only started 4-0 4 times in franchise history. 1973, 1985,
I'll let the radio call go,
2007, and
guys,
2012.
before.
That's it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nimmo. Fetty's pitch. Nimmo, it's a hard grounder toward first. It's caught by Bell. He actually caught it on a line drive, and he steps on first to double up McNeil. That ball was hit hard on a low line toward Bell at first. He reached down to grab it at his ankles, and it was ruled to be caught on the fly. So Jeff McNeil ran towards second, gets doubled off easily, and Nimmo hits into a line drive double play to end the top of the third. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. After 2.5, Washington won, the Mets nothing on the WCBS.
All right, guys. So the Mets got out of that rally pretty quickly. First 2 men on. Connor McNeil hitting a base hit. Nito struck out, and Nimmo lined to Josh Bell, the first baseman, line drive. You know, he caught it. Nothing you could do there. Double play. Nothing McNeil can do. He was just leading off the bag. You know, it's nearly impossible. Bell was right behind the bag when he made that catch down the line. You know, so far the Mets are not really hitting at the moment. They had not a lot of them had quality at bat so far. The Nationals defense has been good. You already saw a play by Fox, the shortstop, twice already. Bell just made a nice play. The defense has been looking nice for the Nats and basically saved the run basically right there. So that's unfortunate, but the Mets were hitting the ball. You know, it's not like they were, you know, besides Nito struck out, you know, they're putting the bat on the ball. You know, you got to let the defense play the ball. You know, mistakes happen. So Mets didn't do anything in the third, left 2 men on. We're going to the bottom of the third. Nelson Cruz home run is the only run of the ball game, and the Nats lead 1-0. So we're going to the bottom of the third, guys. Let's see if Cookie Carrasco can continue to pitch the way he did in the second inning. And he looked like he found his pitches. You know, his breaking ball looked good. His fastball was located very well in the second inning. So let's hope he can continue that, and hopefully the Mets put some runs on the board for him. So on SNY, the game's back on, so it's a little behind on the radio, guys. So as soon as it comes back, we will go right to it. So game day is gonna go back on right now, guys.
Bottom of the third in Washington, 1-0. Nationals lead the Mets. Victor Robles leads off first pitch. Breaking ball strike drops in from Carlos Carrasco.
So 9-1-2 for the Nationals.
We saw that a lot last year. Just a solo shot. Nelson Cruz hit it. Fifth time Cruz has taken Carrasco deep in their careers. No balls, one strike. Carrasco sets and deals. Robles bunts foul behind home plate. It's 0-2. The first 25,000 fans of the 110 game against Arizona on Saturday, April 16th, will receive a replica of the new Tom Seaver statue at Citi Field. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Of course, that statue will be unveiled on opening day at Citi Field. The home opener on Friday. The Seaver statue unveiling that morning. The ball's 2 strikes, the pitch. Robles, it's a soft grounder towards short. Lindor charges, gloves it, throws to first. Retires Robles, and there's one away, 5 straight. Set down by Carrasco. Are you emceeing?
Yeah, it's going to be emotional, and I would expect that the statue will become a destination point at Citi Field, very much the way the Willie Mays statue is in San Francisco. The statue of Seaver was sculpted by the same man, William Behrens, who did the Willie Mays statue.
Giants Stadium sits at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. First pitch to Cesar Hernandez, in for a strike on a fastball 0-1 at Citi Field. Now sits at 41 Seaver Way. Hernandez struck out swinging his first time. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the third. No balls, 1 strike, the pitch. And as it's a ground ball right to the second baseman. It's handled easily by Cano.
Quick 2 outs for Carrasco. Looking good. Looking good. Let's see if we can get out of this with Juan Soto up right now. Get the Mets offense back on there.
Switch and save with Spectra Mobile nationwide.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely finish last time.
Restrictions apply.
But they do have. Right now they're playing the first 3 games. They haven't really played good defense, except for a couple of plays. But today they're playing very good defense.
Wearing number 42, which I'm sure Robinson Cano will enjoy. He is named after Jackie Robinson. Wears the number 24 inverse of Jackie's 42 as an honor to Jackie. 2 out, bases empty. First pitch to Soto. Shows bunt, takes high and away, ball 1. Soto just making the Mets think about a bunt. I'll tell you this. Juan Soto wants to bunt. Go right ahead, bud.
Have at it.
Thank you very much. You could have first base. Just make yourself at home.
Saves about 450 feet, potentially.
Exactly. 1-0. Soto takes a strike on the inner half. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was probably a possible appropriate time for Juan Soto to pull that trick out in an important game, maybe late in the game, needing a base runner. 1-0 in the third. Washington ahead. Go ahead, take your bunt. The 1-1. Soto with a high fly, center field, fairly deep, but he missed it a little. Nimmo fights the sun. He's under it, makes a one-handed catch shy of the warning track.
All right, guys. So another 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Carrasco. Got out the 9-1-2 hitter and also just got Soto on a pop fly. Carrasco's looking good again. A fairly quick inning, keeping his pitch count low. That's what we like to see from Carlos Carrasco. Again, going to the top of the 4th, guys. The Nationals lead 1-0 on Nelson Cruz home run. So Carrasco has looked good after the. He looked good in the first inning as well. Just one bad pitch to Nelson Cruz gave up the home run and just 1-0. So yeah, I know Mets Nation. I know it was pretty loud. You heard it. I heard it on the TV and the radio. So, hey, what can you do, right? It's alive. So, let's see if the Mets can get back. We had our chance, 2 men on. We couldn't get it done. We put the bat on the ball, but a good play. That's what it is at the moment. So, coming up for the Mets is Lindor, Cano, and Alonso. 2, 3, 4. Naked bots back. Jesus, so annoying. So, you know what? The offense needs to start waking up, but you know what? The Mets usually start scoring their runs in the middle part of the game. They did that the last couple of games, the last 3 games, actually. So I'm not surprised, Basically, when they see the pitcher for the second and third time, that's when they start to do damage. Gatorade, yeah, let's hope they score at least one run this game, or they be in trouble. But Cookie Carrasco, 2 solid innings, 7 straight outs for Carrasco, looking good, but we gotta start scoring runs for him. Gotta give him a little bit of breathing room. So right now, SNY showing the road ahead with their schedule. Obviously, tonight against the Nationals, 3 against Philly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day off on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Arizona Diamondbacks, our home opener. Riley Taylor, how you doing? So the game is back on SNY, so we will see if the radio goes back on. There we go, guys. I'll be back after the inning.
Pitch the other night when he squared to Fonte. Took one up and in from Steve Cishek. Petty works from the windup. First pitch. Lindor takes a strike around the knees on the inner half, 0-1.
Lindor, baby, yes.
The first time that he'd been hit that high before.
Woo! Tie game.
He really didn't know if he'd have any nerves going back into the batter's box.
Sorry, I got excited, guys. You'll hear it.
It's a high fly ball, deep to right, back towards Soto. Still going, looking up, and it's gone. Home run, Francisco Lindor. It's his first of the year.
Woo.
It ties the game into the Nationals bullpen and wins. And the Mets are on the board here in the top.
Tie game, baby.
It's 1-1.
Well, Lindor had a pretty good spring and was getting a little better
That's
as
what I'm
we got
talking
closer to the season. So as he and Robinson Cano embrace, I think Lindor will benefit from the fact all year that there's more of a veteran presence in here.
Woo.
His voice does not have to
There we
be
go. Tell you guys, the middle of the game, that's when the Mets start to pick it together. Second, third time around the batting order. That's when they start going. Lindor got a hanging curveball, and he drived it to right field. Right on that curveball. It was a line drive. Right over the right field wall in the Nats bullpen. Let's go.
Big breaking ball
when the Mets do their damage. 4th, 5th, 6th inning. Here we go. First home run of the year for Lindor. Struggling. Only 2 hits on the year so far. Got his 3rd hit. First home run of the year. Here we go. Let's go, Robbie.
A rocket toward right field. And Cesar Hernandez shot over and nabbed near the right field line. Ball that probably should have been a base hit if not for a well-placed infield. Maybe that will be a base hit again at some point in the future. 1-1. It's a little blooper toward left foul, 1-2. Cano's good enough to override some of the shift, but as we've heard from more and more people lately around the game, fans want to see the reward of a base hit on a ball that is struck like that. A solid shot down the right field line. I'll look up and see the second baseman there because of the way percentages and algorithms spit it out. He probably earned a hit there, and it was taken away by Hernandez and the defensive alignment. It's 1, Washington 1 after the Lindor homer. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cano. Petty from the windup, his pitch. It's a bouncer foul, first base side, still 1-2. The Mets' first run of the game, sponsored by Sloman's Home Security. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Or visit Slomans.com to find out how you can get a free home security system and professional installation. It's 1, Washington 1 in the 4th. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cano. Petty from his windup, left leg kick, the pitch. Cano, it's a bouncer off his foot foul, and it's still 1-2. 4th inning, sponsored by Cars for Kids. Cars with a K to donate your car today.
Let's go, Robbie. Robbie's hanging in there.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Robinson Cano. Petty on the first base side of the rubber. Sign from Cabert Ruiz. Left leg kick. Petty downhill. His pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. High fastball. Strikes out Cano. Second, like that 3rd strikeout for Petty. And there's one down here in the 4th. As Alonso comes up. Getting back to Lindor for a moment on that hit by a pitch the other night. He actually thought about, according to what he told Steve Gelfs of SNY, taking off his C-flap before the at-bat. He said he was wearing a lot of layers of clothing, and sometimes the C-flap rubs up against the extra layers as his jersey puffs up. So he said just for his own comfort at the plate, he thought about taking it off. He almost did. First pitch. Alonso looks at a breaking ball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So basically just ran out of time before making the decision to take it off. Well, that could have been a very ugly situation had that C-flap come off his helmet right before he was in the batter's box and needed it. 0-1. Alonso takes a breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I thought it was quite telling that Buck Showalter answered your first question today about Mets pitching by saying, well, our guys have done a pretty good job gripping the baseball.
Yeah.
That's a less than subliminal message that he sent.
The Mets have been hit 5 times in this series. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Alonso takes in the dirt, ball 2. You know, if you look at the Mets all-time hit by pitch leaders, there's a lot of guys who've been on the roster in the last few years that are in the top 10 now in Mets history. Michael Conforto is actually the all-time Mets leader now in hit by a pitch with 52. And Alonso's not far away. He's been hit by 40 pitches already in his major league career.
The Mets have had trouble with Fetty's slider today,
Talking
specifically to right-handed batters. They've been hard to connect on that lately.
You know, there was a sports writer
They got to lay off that slider and wait on his
fastball.
fastball.
The Mets in 1986 as a loathed ogre of a team. And you would think that team would have clunked a whole lot more than it was, even though they had about 4 bench-clearing brawls that year.
Should have directed some of that ogreness toward him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, pitch to Alonso. Swing and a miss on a fastball again up in the zone. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Fetty on the same pitch. 2 outs after the Lindor homer. Game tied at 1, and now Escobar will bat.
The Bill Conlon story is a whole other rather disgusting and disgraceful one. Look that up on your own time.
It's baseball brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact a dealer for a great deal today or visit tryhondadealers.com. Escobar, left-handed hitter against the righty Fetty. Infield overshifts aggressively again, making a triangle on the right side of the infield. First pitch. Escobar takes high, ball 1. Hernandez backed up on the outfield grass about 8 to 10 steps. Bell and Fox on the right side. Diagonal from him, actually Franco on the right side instead of Fox. 1-0. Back for a breaking ball for a strike to Escobar. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Mets' third baseman. Mets and Nationals tied at 1 in the 4th. 2 outs, base is empty. Fetty coming from his windup, the 1-1 pitch. Side and high, 2 balls and 1 strike on Eduardo Escobar. Fetty can give up a lot of home runs. Mentioned 18 in his last 82 innings pitched last year. He's given up a bunch to the Mets over the years as well. Lindor with the home run in this inning, 2-1. Escobar looks at a curve that drops in for a strike. That evens it up on Eduardo Escobar. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're brightening. Sun's been shining for the last inning or so. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fetty's pitch. Good swing from Escobar, but fouled it back. Cutter that was up and in a bit. Escobar just missed it. That had been out over the plate a little bit more. Escobar might have joined the home run party today. The Doors hit 1 for the Mets. Nelson Cruz for Washington. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fetty from his windup pitch. A little bit high. Cutter again, but Escobar laid off. The count's full. 3-2. Dominic Smith on deck. Fetty brushes some dirt off the top of the mound. Gets back on the rubber and comes ready for a 3-2 pitch to Escobar. Swinging a high drive, right center field, hit well. Soto back after it, near the wall. That ball is off the wall.
Nice
Escobar
shot by
taking
Escobar.
For second base. He's thinking about
2-out
now
double.
slams the brakes on as the throw comes in from the outfield. Escobar flops back onto the second base bag. He really had a designation there for a triple. It looked like a cartoon the way that he slammed the brakes there. It looked like Wile E. Coyote coming up to a ledge.
See if Bob Smith can get a 2-out RBI right here.
Second base.
So,
A reversal, of course, that was.
Ball was ripped into the gap in right center. Soto dropped it off the carom initially when it hit the wall. He regained it quickly and fired it back
Let's go,
in.
Dom. Base it.
Two-out
Let's go.
double and a window of opportunity for the Mets presented by Window Rama. The window replacement experts, let your project be their passion from start to finish. Visit windowrama.com for a free consultation. Chance for the lead here. Dominic Smith bats with Escobar at second. Three infielders again, scoot it to the right. Dom can swing it the other way. First pitch. Check swing and a miss on a cutter that found its way over the plate. No balls, one strike on Smith. Smitty, as Buck keeps calling him. So he's got to tell Buck that Smitty doesn't work for Dom. I don't know. Throws me off.
Maybe it works for Dom. It just doesn't work for you.
Have to ask him if anybody else calls him Smitty. The ball's in one strike pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't care what he tells you or me if I ask him the same question. Nobody by the name of Smith goes through life without being called Smitty, at least at some point, unless Smitty issues a cease and
It's
desist.
actually very windy in Washington today. You see the jerseys blowing all over the place.
Strike on Dominic Smith.
So you're going to have to really hit
Billy
a line
Smith of the
drive to get the
Islanders,
ball
great
out today,
goaltender.
like
He was
Lindor
called
and Cruz
Smitty,
did.
but his teammates called him Schmo. That was his
So, Dom,
nickname
2-out
in
hit.
the
Let's
room,
go.
as they say.
Is that a term of endearment or
Well,
not?
yes, it was. It was. You know, you never read into what a nickname is for a hockey player as having anything to do with being a commentary on their personality or persona or otherwise.
They didn't call him a Schmohawk. 1-1. A little bit high. 2 balls, 1 strike on Smith.
So you do watch Curb.
Yeah.
That was the character depicted by the late, great Shelley Berman, who played Larry David's father.
The last season was
All right, Dom got a
really
3-1
good.
count. Let's see if we can do some damage here.
one of
Let's
the
go.
best ones.
Well, the last episode was ridiculously
Kana on deck.
2 balls, 1 strike on
2
Dom
out,
Smith. Pitch.
2-out RBIs are so
But
big
outside, 3
in
balls
games,
and
man.
1
So
strike.
big.
The only thing this season was missing was Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
He had a lot of surgeries, mostly on his back. He wasn't available very much. Hopes to be if there's another season. Nothing like Richard Lewis.
All right, Dom
and
just
Larry
took ball
David
4.
at the
So
same
first and
season.
second with Connor up. I like Connor up in this spot right
Games
here.
all the time.
Yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike on Dominic Smith. 2 outs, runner on second. Pitch. Down and in, ball 4. So Smitty draws a walk. 2 outs and 2 on. Walk issued by Fetty. The batter will be Mark Canha as Jim Hickey heads to the mound. Mark Showalter was telling us his own funny stories before the game today. A lot of discussion about bats and how to optimize a piece of lumber that you use in the batter's box. Got Keith Hernandez involved. They were talking about how Otis Nixon, on this fascinating, used to go up to the plate with a broken bat when he had designs of using it to bunt. He said a broken bat really deadened the ball.
All right, I really like Mark Connor in this
Of course, Otis
spot.
Nixon was a great
First and
bunter.
second,
Got a
2
lot of
outs. He's a guy that puts the bat on the
throughout
ball.
his career. Said he often
You know,
would go up and
doesn't
throw the bat
overswing,
when he really
so
wanted to lay a bunt
look
down.
for him to try to probably go to right field in this spot.
It's going to be a lot of fun to be around Buck Showalter.
Yeah, the
all
Mets,
year of
second,
those
third time
stories
around the
become a
batting
daily
order. This
thing.
is when they cause the damage.
2 on, 2 out for Mark Canha. Buck was talking about how
Come on-
hitters could
come on,
fit it
Mark,
for
let's go.
bats. So does bat makers ever say, well, the bat you got is actually perfect for you. You don't need us. And actually, that did happen this year in the offseason with Paul Goldschmidt. They told him the bat he used was actually perfect for him. So they made him a new one anyway.
Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like that. The
First pitch,
169 viewers, guys. Really appreciate it.
It's 0-1.
Let's get this Mets W and sweep the series. Let's go. Mark Connor,
So
2
the
outs,
Goldschmidt,
2
you know,
on.
for someone who's never been fitted for a bat, this one actually is the perfect one for you. But we can make one even better. Don't you worry.
Yeah, the Yankee fans
2 out,
would not
2
be
on.
happy if the Mets sign him. Oh,
Mark Canha
You'll never
here
hear the
for
end of it.
Mets and Nationals tied at 1.
but we got a 1-1 count to Connor, 2 outs.
Yo, 1.
First and second with
Canha
2 outs,
takes
guys. Let's see
down
if Connor
in
can
the
come
ball,
through with a
1
big 2-out hit.
Canha is so
2-out
patient
RBIs
at the plate,
were
just
nearly
not
impossible
swinging
last year for the
anything
New York
outside the
Mets. Big difference this year already. Connor's been one of those guys that has been clutch with 2 outs.
Playing in just 3 games in this series. He's only been retired twice, both on strikeouts. All singles and walks.
Let's go, Mark.
Ball 1 strike on Canna. Longer inning here for Fetty. His pitch count starts to rise. He's thrown 66 in 3 2/3 innings. Mets knocked out the Washington starter in the 5th inning in each game in this series. Trying to get something going again here in the 4th. A run already in. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1 pitch. And couldn't hold his swing on a breaking ball that fell low and away. It's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mark Cannon. Ladd Jr. hit a home run today for the Blue Jays. They've hit 3 homers already today. 467 feet. 118 off the bat. Toronto team was very good. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mark Canna. 2 on, 2 out. And the Nationals tied at 1 here in the 4th. It's trying to sweep this series. 1-2 pitch. Outside, the cutter didn't get Canna to chase. Very little does. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Canna.
Let's go, Mark.
Free
Let's
agent signings in the offseason, all the work.
Big spot right here early in the
Steve
game.
Cohen and the Mets did before the lockout. Bringing on Canna and Escobar, Marte, and of course, Max Scherzer. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Then he comes set at the belt. It's 2-2. And it's a line drive, right center field. It might get down. Here comes Soto diving. He can't make the play. It's a base hit. Escobar rounds third and scores. Smith ends up at third. It's an RBI single for Mark Canna. The Mets take a 2-1 lead.
There we go.
Soto almost got to it. He was right there as he dove forward, had a good jump, got his glove on the ball, and just couldn't
See what happens? All you got to do is put the bat on the ball. Things happen.
Grass, and the Mets able to get a 2-out
Soto had to
run.
make a great play
Escobar
just to make that out. You put the bat on the ball, let the defense make the play. And look what happened. Soto dropped it. It was an easy catch, but he dropped it. 2-1 Mets. First and third with Jeff McNeil up.
Almost made a spectacular play, but Mark Canna, another one who really lengthens this Mets lineup. That's a tough out.
It sure is, and another 2-out RBI for the Mets. We've seen that a lot in this series, something the Mets really struggled with last year. They have done so terrifically in this series. First pitch. Neal lines it foul to the left, 0-1. The Mets barely hit above 200 last year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. They have gone in the complete opposite direction.
Jeff, keep it going.
In the first 4 games of this season. Hopefully, for the Mets case, that is a trend that continues. They score a lot of runs if you can get things done with 2 outs, as the Mets have in this series. Now the Mets lead for the first time today, and McNeil with a chance to add to it. 1. Now softly foul. First base side, 0-2.
All right, we got an 0-2 count of McNeil, 2 outs. First and third. Mets leading 2-1. Got 2 runs with a Lindor home run and a Canna base hit to drive into 2 runs in the top of the 4th. Keep it going, guys. 2-out rallies. They're killers. They demoralize teams. I trust Connor McNeil in this spot. Having him back-to-back is amazing.
2 outs, no balls, 2 strikes on McNeil. Eddie bent over at the waist, ball in his bare hand behind his lower back. I'm set. Eddie at the belt, 0-2. It's in the dirt. Bounced away from Ruiz, but hit McNeil and stayed near home plate. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs. The Mets are now 6.
1-2 count to Jeff. Let's go.
For 17 in this series. An average of 353. Not going to stay like that, but a good sign that will at least be better. And the Mets 204 from last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. 2-1 Mets, 4th inning. Fetty's pitch. Fields, little blooper towards short. Fox started back, now comes in, makes a running catch.
All right, guys. So the Mets did a little bit of damage, getting 2 runs, taking the lead in the top of the 4th, going to the bottom of the 4th. Lindor with a leadoff home run, and Mark Canha with a base hit to right field. Soto almost came up with it, but dropped the ball that scored Escobar, and that gave the Mets a 2-1 lead. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th. Mets lead 2-1. Once again, the New York Mets, third time around the order, seeing the same pitcher, has done damage each of the first 4 games, and they continue to do it right here today against Fetty. So I don't think Fetty might come out. Fetty might pitch one more inning, but it gives another chance for the Mets to see them for Fetty a 3rd time around the order, with Nido, Nimmo, and Lindor leading off the next inning in top of the 5th. But they still have to get through the bottom of the 4th to see if Carrasco can continue to pitch well for us. He's got the lead now, so what do you always want from a pitcher coming out after he gets the lead? A quick 1-2-3 inning, get your lineup right back out there. That's what the Mets need to do, but it's not going to be easy. He's got Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, and Keibert Ruiz coming up. So we got 2, 3, 4 coming. 3, 4, 5 coming up. So it's not going to be easy for Carrasco, but he's pitched well the last couple of innings. He has to continue it. You got to hold the lead. The worst thing you can do as a pitcher is your team gives you a lead and come back out and give it right back up. So what we want here is a quick 1-2-3 inning, or at least just get out of the inning, get your offense back into the top of the 5th. You're going to have 9-1-2 up for the Mets. So we got to get more runs, because I don't know if 2-1 is going to be good enough to win this game. But at the moment, Carrasco in the 2nd and 3rd inning pitched very well. 7 straight outs for Carrasco. But he has a challenge with Cruz, Bell, and Ruiz up. But nice to see the Mets came out clutch. Lindor with his first home run of the year. Canha once again coming through with 2 outs. Canha, like I said, guys, a lot of people were not really talking about Canha. Some people wanted Smith to play over Canha during the offseason. People think that Canha's not an everyday player. Well, he's shown so far with his 1,000 OPS, with his clutch 2-out hits. The game is on right now, guys. So we're going to listen to Howie and Wayne.
40th player in Major League history to reach 450 home runs. Done a lot of that damage since turning 30. He's 41 years old now. First pitch. Ground ball broken back. Foul down the 3rd baseline, 0-1. These are the all-time home run leaders beyond the age of 30. Barry Bonds, 509. Babe Ruth, 430. Rafael Palmeiro, 414. Henry Aaron, 413. Then there's Nelson Cruz, tied for 5th most home runs ever for a player after turning 30 years old. He's tied with Jim Thome on that list. Thome ended up with over 60.
So, Cookie, get this one up. Get that offense back on there.
It's in there for a strike as Carrasco got the slider over, and he gets ahead. No balls, 2 strikes on Cruz. Bell and Ruiz to follow. No balls, 2 strikes on Nelson Cruz. Pitch. Just inside the split change. Carrasco's bread and butter pitch, really, especially against a right-handed batter, is that split change. The elbow injury last year really affected him from being able to throw that pitch. So right now,
Carrasco got 47 pitches in the 4th, so it's not bad. He could possibly go 6 if he gets out of this rather quickly.
That he can now throw that pitch the way that he likes. He's had a good outing today, save for that first inning home run by Cruz. He's retired 7 straight. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cruz. Pitch. Swing and a roller foul on that changeup behind home plate. Still 2-2. The idea is on a right-handed batter to look like a fastball in and then drop at the last moment with that changeup speed. So you get a lot of swings like that on top of the baseball and out in front of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nelson Cruz. 2-1 Mets, bottom of the 4th. Outfield deep, shaded to right.
Strike 3. All right, here we go.
3 to the left.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Carrasco, nice slider to Cruz.
Nasty pitch by
Carrasco looking good, man. If we get this Carrasco,
1 away.
we're gonna have a hard time
that was
losing
the
games,
first inning
guys. That's for
homer, which
damn
was
sure.
something that affected
1 out,
Carrasco last
49
year.
pitches for Carrasco.
This is
1
a
out.
much different looking Carlos Carrasco from what we saw last season. Much more like the pitcher that he was.
Carlos Carrasco
in
is such an
Cleveland.
X factor for this rotation. 100%. He
Francisco
pitches like
Lindor
this.
knows
I
all
know
about
it's the
that,
Nationals,
playing
but
behind
you know
Carrasco
what?
again, as he
He's
did
pitching
with the
Soto,
Indians.
Bell, and Cruz pretty well
Josh Bell,
after that
batter
Cruz
now,
home run.
left-handed hitter, first pitch. High and outside, ball 1.
His breaking ball, his off-speed pitches are
Cincinnati
sharp,
leads
very
Atlanta
sharp.
today 5-0. I mention that because it's the major league debut of Hunter Green, hard throwing pitcher for the Reds. 1-0. Now looks at a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. A triple-digit flamethrower. Green has struck out 6 in the first 3 innings without giving up a hit. It's an impressive debut for Hunter Green so far, as the Reds try to split that series in Atlanta. Now it's a bouncer foul on a 1-1 pitch. Now it's 1-2. Marcus Stroman's made his Cubs debut today. Lost a couple of scoreless innings at Wrigley as the Cubs are leading again. Seiya Suzuki.
That pitch by Carrasco just now should have been a strike. It was just off the corner, but I thought he was going to call it. Oof.
Cubs are taking it to the Brewers this
That would have been a
weekend.
call strike 3. Just
Burns,
missed.
Woodruff, and Peralta. 1-2. A little bit outside. 2-2. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Whose scratch-off games are on sale now. Try your luck today, and you can bring home a win.
Well, Jeff McNeil with a very
Now
nice
nobody on
pitch
fourth
down
inning.
the
Mets
left
lead
field
2-1.
line. 2 down.
Vasco works from the stretch at all
Very
times.
nice play by McNeil.
Beltai set his pitch. Bell bloops one toward left. That's likely going to get down. McNeil long run sliding and makes the catch. Jeff McNeil, as that ball hung up for him, able to race toward the left field line, get down into a slide and make the play. As Josh Bell was just throwing his bat at the ball, hoping it would fall in the right spot. It nearly did. But McNeil cut it down. Good play by Jeff. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
Good defense
Ruiz,
behind
the
Carrasco
batter
right
now.
now is helping him a lot. He's got 55 pitches in a foot. Like I said, guys, I think he's going to go 70 pitches. So it's probably a good chance he's probably going to pitch only 5 innings, which is exactly what we're looking for Carrasco.
Strike, and it's 0-1.
Carrasco is just dealing right now, guys. Dealing.
Today's been no different.
Yeah, Angel, I like McNeil. I think he's a better left fielder than he is a second baseman.
It's rare that he walks anybody. 0-1. Wave and a miss. Good changeup down and in.
0-2. Very nice.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Carlos Carrasco, 57 pitches through 4 strikes out. Ruiz, 1-2-3. That's exactly what we wanted to see from Carlos Carrasco.
Carrasco on the far edge of the first base side of
Beautiful.
the river. Beltai set his 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good split.
This is the Carlos Carrasco we thought we were getting.
1-2-3 inning is retired.
Very nice pitching from Carrasco. So we're going to the top of the 5th. Mets still lead 2-1. Carlos Carrasco with 10 straight outs. Looking very good after that 1 home run by Nelson Cruz in the first inning. He's definitely going to go 5. I don't know if the Mets are going to go. If I was the Mets, I'd let him go 5. Get him out on the good note. Get him out. Use your bullpen to get this sweep from the Nationals. I think it would be a good idea just to get him out after the 5th inning. You know, he'll probably throw about 65, 67 pitches. I'd get him out of the game. Move him on the good note so you can have him feel very confident for his next start. I think it's a good idea. But again, the biggest key last year with Carlos Carrasco was his health. He didn't have a spring training because he was injured. Had a very short rehab stint and work out his arm. He didn't have a normal spring training. When he came back in August, it felt like he was rushed because we needed that extra arm. You know, a healthy Carrasco is the guy you see right here. Again, he's not going to be the guy that throws 7 innings most of the time. But again, quality starts from Carrasco is what we need. 5 innings, 2 or 3 runs. Right now, he's went through 4 with one run so far, and that's very good. I mean, he's looked good. His breaking balls, his off-speed pitches looked really well. His fastballs has been located excellent. Yeah, Todd, absolutely. If Carrasco and Cano are good, this Mets team is going to be very hard to beat. There's no doubt about that. I don't care who's playing us. If you got 4 starters that can mow you down, I mean, the Mets are going to have a good year, no doubt about it. Ken, 100% agree. The Mets announcers, when the Mets are bad, they will actually tell you to your face, no doubt about it. They have no way of hiding it. But the Yankees announcers really do kind of show they're very big homers for sure. So they're back on an SNY. So we're gonna go right to Howie and Wayne go into the top of the 5th. Mets lead 2-1.
The Mets yet another solid pitching performance. They allowed just 5 runs in 31 innings in this series. They've outscored the Nationals 19-5. Trying to put together a 4-game sweep. Tomas Nido will lead off at the top of the 5th, followed by Nimmo and Lindor. Against Eric Betty, play-by-play. Here's Howard.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. Nido struck out his first time up. Right-hand batter. They play him around towards right in the outfield. And the first pitch by Fetty, a fastball for a called strike, 0-1. So Fetty seeing the Mets the second time through the order. And when Nimmo hits, he's on deck. That'll start the 3rd. It's been much more of a struggle for him that second time as the Mets continue to have solid at-bats. The 0-1 on the way, breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. That started this game with an on-base percentage over the first 3 of .425, which is the best in the majors, to go along with their major league best .318 batting average. And again, those are largely insignificant numbers at this stage. The 1-1 swung out and missed a curve in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, let's be honest here, the Mets are going to be stepping up in class in terms of the opposition they face when they get to Philadelphia to begin the series with the Phillies tomorrow. Between the bats the Phillies have added, those they already have, including the reigning MVP Bryce Harper. They're going to see Wheeler, they're going to see Nola. That's a whole different animal. But full marks to the Mets. A 1-2 on the way. Fastball inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Because what they've done so far is what, in a best-case scenario, they have been built to do as often as possible during the regular season. And that is really make things difficult on pitchers to the point where you wear them out and get into the bullpens early. 2-2 on the way. Swung on and missed strike 3. Second time that Nido has chased that breaking
Nido
ball down and away.
has been looking bad on that
His
slider,
fifth strikeout.
for sure.
1 out. Now he starts his 3rd time through the order by facing Brandon Nimmo. But what the Mets did in that 4th inning was force Fetty to throw 34 pitches. What does that do? Well, it starts projecting early trip to the pen. Steve Cishek faced 1 batter and hit him, and that was Alonso the other night, is getting ready in the Washington bullpen right now. Pardon me, that was Lindor that Cishek hit.
I like that. They're showing on SNY the Keith Hernandez retirement bat, the commemorative bat. I think I'm going to order that. That's a nice bat.
And they've all run together. Mason Thompson is who hit Alonso the other night. Thompson was put on the injury
Frank,
list
I
today
understand.
with bicep strain. Hunter Harvey was added to the Washington roster today.
A righty for a righty. I hope Thompson's okay because you could see him shaking that hand out as he walked off the mound last night. Infield overshift to the 0-1 to Nimmo. Hit on the ground. Back to the mound. Good quick play by Fetty to grab it. Runs towards first before underhanding to Bell. 2 men away. And he was practically in Bell's pocket when he shoveled that ball to him. But a good reaction by Brandon Nimmo. And or at least by Eric Fetty on the hard hit 1 hopper by Brandon Nimmo. But one of the reasons that it was such a nice play was the finish to the delivery of Fetty. Nothing violent about that follow-through. He was basically square to the hitter when he completed his delivery, and it was just a matter of being quick enough to get the glove up, and he did. Nicely done by Eric Fetty. And now Lindor, who homered his first time. 2-1 New York, 2 out, nobody on to the 5th. Pitch taken up high, a cutter, 1-0. I'll tell you what, Francisco Lindor, I don't know if you saw them, Wayne. He was wearing some super cool shoes today. I couldn't tell if they were boots or not, but the heels, they were very similar to what we used to call Beatle boots that the Beatles wore when they hit big in 1964. Sinker outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
You don't like my baby blues that I'm wearing?
Are they Allbirds?
No, these are Under Armour.
Oh, these are Under Armour. Okay. Yeah, the baby blue. You should see Wayne, by the way. This is some color-coordinated stuff here for radio. Powder blue top, half zip or quarter zip.
Yeah.
Quarter zip.
Quarter.
Powder blue. Let's pick up Lindor. He takes outside 3-0. But no, there's always room for a nice fashion report. Wayne Splendid. You know what? I'm going to take a picture of you and tweet it out between innings. Powder
I love
blue,
Howie and Rain. It's funny.
looks like Vineyard Vines quarter zip. 3-0 to Lindor. He takes its outside ball 4. So between Lindor's Beatle boots, and I've got to ask him about it because I wonder if he's ever heard of the Beatles. Probably has heard of the Beatles, but I doubt he knows anything about Beatle boots. And they look like almost like snake skin or something. They're really, really sharp. But anyway, in his sharp-looking baseball shoes, he's on at first now with 2 out for Cano. Well, what do we got there? Are those navy slacks or?
Jeans, dark blue jeans.
That is one. Just turn around and look at me for a second, as hard as that can be.
I spilled
I
spilled tea on my shirt.
That's
we don't
okay.
get that, yeah.
It's Bigelow. It comes out. All right, there we go. I'm not even going to say anything other than to tweet this out immediately, so you know what I'm talking
Did you
about.
get the shoes at least?
Yours?
So
yeah, I
Lindor walked and he just stole a base.
Well, here's Cano. Lindor running. Pitch swung on and missed. The throw by Ruiz. Safe is the call at second.
So we got
Franco took
2 out,
the throw
runner
to
in
the
scoring
right
position.
side
See
of
if Cano
second
can bring him
base,
in.
somewhat into the runner. As in the shift, it was Franco on the right side of the infield, or coming across anyway, who tried to put the tag on, and now he's going to backpedal towards third. And let's see, that's the shortstop Fox, who's going to go to the other side of second, it would appear, but give Francisco Lindor credit for a stolen base.
Third steal for the Mets in this series. Jankowski had 2 yesterday.
Now 0-1 to Cano. Mets leading 2-1.
See if Robbie Cano can get a 2-out RBI here. Just like Connor did last inning.
Lindor in from second base here. All right, we'll get this photo of Wayne tweeted out instantly. Right after the next pitch to Cano, because, first things first.
Oh, Fetty just stepped off.
Thank you, Eric Fetty. So here we go. We got the shoes, by the way. This is one sharp-looking radio dude right here.
So, Robbie.
Called at home plate nicely by Cano to give us time to allow you to absorb the image that I'm seeing here in the booth. I'm looking like a schlep. And Wayne, I'm telling you, this is like GQ stuff.
What a picture that is, too. That's just a great shot.
Thank you. Portrait's a specialty. Here's the 0-1. Cutter upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just call me Felix. That's a pretty good looking picture, if I say so myself. Lighting was good. Background was nice. And we are coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Try to keep it in the cup as opposed to how Wayne let a drop or 2 slip away.
Yeah, a couple.
When you're so anxious to sip that good-tasting Bigelow tea, you might lose a drop here or there, but that's what it takes to save a sweater, so be it. Here's the 1-1. Cano swings, hits it on the ground, right into the shift on the right side, and short right field. Hernandez up with it and throws out Cano to retire the side.
Didn't score there, but that's okay. Cano hit it hard. It's just, in the shift, the second baseman has time to, settle down, get the ball. Cano to run fast. There you go. Yeah, I think considering, I think the Mets are good. It's just the fact, just because, good teams beat the bad teams. It's just that simple, guys. Like, the Phillies are better than the A's. The A's are a bad team. The Phillies are beating them up. The Braves right now, Cincinnati is kind of like middle of the road team, and they're having problems with them. Last year, the reason why the Yankees didn't win their division was because they couldn't beat the Orioles. You got to beat the bad teams in the league. You just have to, especially in your division, because that can either make or break your season, and it can also have you miss out on winning the division or possibly even the playoffs. So you have to beat up on the bad teams. I hate when people say, "Oh, well, the Mets are beating a bad team. That's why it doesn't mean much." Of course, it means much. Listen, you beat the Nationals, you're 1-0. You win a game. If you lose to the Nationals, you lose the game. It adds up on the record. It's just that simple. So it really doesn't matter who you beat. You got to play the team that's on your schedule. That's it. Granted, the Mets can lose 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world either. And it could be vice versa. So we're going back to the bottom of the 5th, guys. Mets lead 2-1. Carrasco is on the mound with 57 pitches.
Nationals 2-1 as Yadiel Hernandez leads off the bottom of the 5th against Carlos Carrasco from the early returns. Portrait of Wayne on Twitter has been a big hit. It's the match, of course, to have a line of the day. The first pitch to Hernandez, right down the middle, a fastball from Carrasco, strike one call. Madge says, "Are you going to tell him or I that North Carolina lost?" It's Wayne in his Tar Heel blue today. Powder blue is what you would conventionally say. Check swing at a pitch in the dirt. No swing by Yadiel Hernandez as they look to third. Jordan Baker says 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just helping out all the teams that have brought back their powder blue uniforms and can't wear them because of the supply chain issues that are going on.
Well, it's going on every place, but baseball just as affected by it as everyone else. So it's the alternate jerseys that have been tough being delivered. 1-1 to Yadiel Hernandez. Split change outside, ball 2, 2-1.
The Cardinals and the Phillies have reported issues getting their alternate uniforms. They both have a few different ones that they use. I would imagine a lot of teams are having these problems.
McKinney just homered against the
Rays
Phillies. That's nice to hear.
I wonder if that's part of the.
So once again, guys, it's Hernandez, Franco, and Fox for the Nationals right now. It's 6, 7, and 8.
3-1.
So it's the bottom of the order for Carrasco. See if we can get out of this with no harm done.
By my recall, the first team that I can recall wearing powder blue were the Chicago White Sox in the mid-1960s. And I have to admit, as an 11 or 12-year-old, I thought they looked really cool. I thought they were going to replace road gray forever. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing on a fly ball to left, going back a few steps, McNeil under it, and Jeff makes the one-hand catch, 1 out.
White Sox have a great history with uniforms. They also have put together the best bobblehead I have ever seen. It just came out today, at least
11 straight outs.
Jason and Stoney?
11 put down by Carrasco. So he's pitching really well right now.
Calling off Eloy Jimenez. Robert with his gold glove on, and Eloy just standing there dejected that he can't catch a fly ball.
That's creative. That's out of the Bill Vick school.
And it says, "I got this, Eloy."
I like it. Here's Franco, 0 for 1.
Jason Shreve is warming up in the bullpen. So again, it looks like Carrasco is only going to go 5.
Carrasco, and it's 0-1. White Sox, I think.
He'll probably hit 70 pitches in his 5th inning. He's already up to 64. So again, 70 pitches seems like the limit for Carrasco, maybe 75.
You almost didn't need the numbers back then. The names were so big.
Yeah, as long as he gets out of the first inning, he usually performs well.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just trying to make sure Harry could see, probably.
Oh, nice play by Escobar.
Harry was
got him. Woo! The defense showing the leather.
He must not have liked the White Sox. You don't ever hear those calls.
Pitching, defense, offense. The Mets are showing everything in these first 4 games.
To his left, Escobar flags it down, wheels and throws in time. Nicely done by Eduardo Escobar. And there are 2 men away. Michael Franco, 0 for 12.
If Escobar gets to a ball, he's going to make a strong, accurate throw. He has got a great arm, and it is always on the money. Nice play by Escobar.
It's so nice to see the Mets have professional ball players on their roster. It's just totally different.
So 2 out, nobody on.
All right, 65 pitches, bottom of the 5th for Carrasco. 2 outs already, and a ground ball to second.
A developing story,
Robbie Cano, 3 outs. What a performance by Carlos Carrasco today, guys. He's probably done after 5. Absolutely great. Cannot ask for more from Carlos Carrasco.
Bouncing ball up the middle to his right. Cano backhands it, throws across his body.
Beautiful, guys. Beautiful for Carlos Carrasco. 3 up, 3 down. "13 straight he got out after the first inning. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 guys in a row got out. That is an excellent performance by Carlos Carrasco, guys. More than I expected. I expected 5 innings, but I did not expect only 1 run. I was expecting 3, maybe 4 runs. This gets you excited, guys, because a healthy Carrasco who can pitch like this makes the rotation not even stronger going forward. And this is without the Grom, guys. This is something that the Mets were hoping for with a healthy DeGrom, healthy Scherzer, healthy Bassett, a better Carrasco. If Carrasco could pitch like this, again, granted, it's against the Nationals, but after the Nelson Cruz home run, he shut down Soto, shut down Cruz after that, shut down Bell, shut down Ruiz. It's a very good performance. If somebody would have said to me, you're going to get 5 innings, 1 run from Carrasco, I would have signed on the dotted line, guys. Beautiful performance by Carrasco. It looks like he's going to be done. Shreve is warming up in the bullpen. So it's looking like a solid 5 innings, 1 run, 2 hits. 5 innings, 1 run, 2 hits for Carlos Carrasco in his first start of the year. Couldn't ask for more from Met fans. So once again, guys, the New York Mets, 4 games, 4 quality, great, really good starts from the Mets pitching. We're going to give it to the bullpen most likely. Jason Street is going to come out for the 6th. Right now, Fetty's out of the game. Steve Cishek is in the game for the Nationals. So let's see what the Mets can do against Cishek. So 13 straight put down for Carlos Carrasco. An excellent performance. So the Mets got Alonso, Escobar, and Smith coming up in the top of the 6th. Let me just fill out my scorecard, guy. Everybody, so just get it done while they get through. But I'm going to put the game right back on.
Screwing the life of Francisco Lindor the other night. Lindor lucky to get away with a chipped tooth. And he was hit in the face by Cishek, who was then ejected for having basically been the instigator, not for the pitch necessarily, but by his actions afterward. At least that was the statement of crew chief Mark Carlson. It'll face Pete Alonso to lead off in the 6th. First pitch pulled on the ground to third, backing up behind the bag. Franco's got it, slings it across in time, and there's 1 out. He forced Josh Bell to reach down and towards right field for that ball. On 1 pitch, Cishek has retired Alonso. That'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. The Speed Report is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight carrier of the Mets radio network. Learn more at odfl.com. Old Dominion, helping the world and keep promises. Speed, not a huge part of the Mets the last few years, but this guy on the bench today who's going to be a big part of it this year. First pitch taken high, a fastball by Escobar, ball 1. It's Starling Marte, major league leader in stolen bases last year with 47. Infield overshifted here against Escobar. Side-arming Cishek deals a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. She's got 88 mile an hour from Cishek. Originally with the Marlins. Went on to the Cardinals, the Rays, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Angels. 1-1 on the way. Fastball low and away, 2-1. So the starter, Eric Fetty, went 5, and this is what we were talking about. Mets continuing to have good, solid, long at-bats. And the 34 pitches that Fetty threw in the 4th inning, largely responsible for him maybe not going another inning. 2-1 on the way, hit high in the air by Escobar to right center. Moving into the gap is Robles, the center fielder. Soto backs away as Robles makes the catch for the 2nd out. But, boy, they came very close to coming together. Robles doing what a center fielder is supposed to do. Take charge. Left-hand hitter up, was shading him that way. And although he covered a lot of ground, Soto wanted the ball until Robles.
I agree, Angel. It's never hard to. It's never easy beating any team 4 straight. Usually you have the hiccup here or there, but right now the Mets are 2-1 in the 6th. You know, I still think we need a little bit of insurance. It seems like Carrasco's done and Jason Street's going to come in for the 6th.
Here's Dom. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1.
Considering the way Eloy plays left and the way Robert plays center, that's best for Luis just to catch everything he possibly can.
Mets with a 2-1 lead here. 2 out, nobody on. Top 6. 1-0 to Smith. Taken outside, a slider, more of a curve there. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith has flied to center, drawn a walk. And the early on-base machine, Mark Canha, waits on deck. That's about hit the Nationals 5-2. The 2-0. Curveball missed low. So 3-0 on Smith. And as well as Canha has swung the bat in this series, I would think Dom Smith will be turned loose here on 3-0. I mean, just about every hitter nowadays is anyhow. Cishek to the belt. 3-0. He takes it. It's outside. Ball 4. So Smith basically just took what Cishek gave him.
All right, guys. So Dominic Smith took a walk. Now we got one of the hottest hitters in the Mets lineup, Mark Canha, coming up. He's been clutch with 2 outs this year. 2 for 2, 2 singles and an RBI. 6 for 8 on the season with 2 RBIs and over a 1.568 OPS. Way over 1,000. Let's go. Come on, Mark. Yep, A's are beating the Phillies 2-0. Billy McKinney with a 2-run shot. See, it's even hard to sweep a bad team in the A's 3 games.
First pitch to him. Here's a breaking ball that nicks the outside corner. Strike 1 called.
Study, my favorite player of all time for the Mets is Ray Ordonez. I grew up loving Ray Ordonez.
And he's drawn 4 walks, which is as much a part
the best
of
game I attended
repertoire as anything else.
Well, it was when Eric Chavez made the catch in the NLCS in 06 until we lost. That was my favorite game for that. I lost my voice. I couldn't feel my hands. It was crazy.
Trevor Williams involved today, the only 2 Mets that have not appeared in a game yet, outside of tomorrow's starter, Taijuan Walker.
1-run game. Mets leading 2-1.
Very true, Andrew. Very true.
6th inning.
So kind of got a 1-2 count. It's the top of the 6th, 1 out. I'm sorry, excuse me, 1 on with 2 outs for Mark Canha. See if Canha can start this 2-out rally going again.
Diaz will join the Mets in Philadelphia. I'm sure Walter figures he probably won't have him until Tuesday. Whether he gets there tomorrow or not, he's gone back to Puerto Rico to attend funeral services for his
Frank, same thing.
Passed away
I was in the load section all the way in the back. And I didn't see the ball go up in the air. I knew it was going. All I saw was Chavez running to the wall, and that's when I saw the catch. It was it was the loudest I ever heard Shea Stadium in my life. And obviously, I'm not that old, so that's the loudest I ever heard it.
The first pitch at 135, and the way things are going, the Mets might be a little chillier now than they were a half
Very
hour
true,
or so
Todd. Very
ago.
true. Ryan, what's up, buddy?
I'm sure Walter was saying this morning that mysteriously,
so Connor's fighting right now. We got a 2-2 count, staying alive.
Pretty much stopped working in about the 5th inning. Every game so far.
Once again, guys, you just tuned in. Don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. It's only the 6th inning. Got a couple more innings to go.
Swing, according to the umpire at first, Mark Carlson, and the count 2-2. Although stand in line, Buck, they couldn't get the lights on in the ballpark a couple of nights ago, so
Connor following off, staying alive. I love it.
Had a rough weekend here in a lot of ways. 2-2, 2 out. Smith, the runner at first. Bell holding him on. Now the pitch to Canha. Swing and a little pop foul going back into the
At the
seats
very
downstairs.
least, the Mets are making
First
Cishek
base.
work. 15 pitches so far in the 6th.
One guy that we've talked about as being a big part of this Washington Nationals future that I don't think we've uttered a peep about this weekend
Let's go.
is Connor Kibu, who has struggled to
Canha had an 0-2 count. Now it's 3-2, guys. Here we go.
Third base, basically.
A ball in the gap is easily going to score Dominic Smith. He's going to be running on the pitch. See if Canha can put the bat on the ball.
That's why they've got Michael Franco, the veteran, signed
go,
to
Mark.
a deal to play third base.
2 out RBI here. Let's go.
We've talked about their
Valerie,
pitchers.
how you doing?
Eric
Let's go,
Fetty,
Mets.
Maybe the best example of a few young pitchers they've had in their system who have been slow to develop.
Canha staying alive. That's what I like to see, guys. That's what I like to see.
For a couple of months.
Not giving easy at bats.
So
17 pitches for C-Check so far. Once again, guys, 3-2 count, 2 outs. So you know Dominic Smith's going to be running on the pitch.
And it's popped up foul.
Again, any ball in the gap is definitely going to score Dominic Smith.
Another prospect.
And even a base hit here will get Dominic Smith first to third, no problem.
A little bit like Kieboom is
Go,
Luis
Mark.
Garcia, who's began the year at AAA, and he's made 4 errors in his first 5 games there. So not a great impression by Garcia to start
Stay
the
fair,
season.
stay fair.
That's why they signed
Oh, kind of
Cesar
roped one
Hernandez to a
foul.
1-year deal for $4 million.
That's funny,
Hoping
Mets
that
Nation.
Garcia can develop the way they've hoped others would develop.
Oh, kind of was
Smith
just
runs,
out in
payoff
front of that pitch.
Line down the left field line, hooking towards the
If he would have
corner,
stayed back a
foul
little bit
ball
more, that would have
on
went right
play.
down the
And
line
Smith, who was
for a home run.
just about to third base, will cut
A
across
little
the
too fast
diamond
on that swing. A little too
and head
fast.
back to first.
Another great at bat from Marcano. Even
You know,
if he
they have
doesn't do
players,
anything here,
and every organization has them, for whom the Nationals
he's
have
put up a good at bat
such
for
high
sure.
hopes over the
Let's go,
years.
Mark.
Michael A. Taylor was a pretty good example of one who just never broke through. Talked about some of their pitching. Carter
All right.
Kieboom was showing signs of turning into that kind of player too, which certainly was something the Nationals would like to have avoided. Now injury has complicated it. Well, Smith ready to run again. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed.
All right, guys. So the Mets didn't score in that inning. We had a shot with 2 outs, but Marcano swung and missed on it looked like a fastball. It was right down the middle, but he was a little under it. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th. Mets lead 2-1. Carlos Carrasco, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. He shut down 13 straight batters in a row. After the Josh Bell base hit in the first inning, he retired every batter after that through 5 innings. Excellent performance by Carlos Carrasco. He is in line for the win at the moment, but let's just see if the Mets can continue to pitch well. Their bullpen has pitched well so far for the first 3 games. We're going to see Jason Shreve for the first time this year. Again, he is going to be facing 9-1-2 Victor Robles, Cesar Hernandez, and Juan Soto. So you're going to have a righty in Robles. You're going to have a switch hitter in Hernandez, and obviously lefty Soto. So Jason Shreve, he can pitch the lefties and righties. So first time this year, we're going to see Jason Shreve. So once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. You're new to the channel, say what's up in the chat. Don't be shy, guys. Met fans, National fans, Philly fans. Doesn't really matter, guys. This is the Mets channel, but it's all baseball fans are welcome. We are going to the bottom of the 6th in Washington. Mets lead 2-1. Nelson Cruz, first inning home run, gave the Nats the lead. The Mets didn't do nothing until the 4th inning with a leadoff home run to Lindor. The game's going to start, guys, so I'm going to put the Carlos Carrasco is coming back out for the 6th, guys. Very interesting.
National League opener in New York when the Mets face the Arizona Diamondbacks. Right here, they lead the Nationals 2-1.
You're welcome, Valerie. So Carrasco is back out for the 6th. Very amazing. Retired 13 straight.
And the first pitch, breaking ball over for a call.
Let's see how far Carrasco can go. I'm assuming if he gets in trouble, he's going to get out of the game. But he only has 68 pitches.
Another guy that we've talked about.
I'm very excited Carrasco going 6th. Let's see if he can do it.
Than the Nationals had hoped. 0-1 on the way. Missed inside with a slider, 1-1. Now Robles is still really young. He'll turn 25 years of age next month. He's had some elbow problems on his way up through the minor leagues, which delayed his ascent to the major league squad. A 1-1 foul back to the screen, a big cut, 1-2. And there have been some base running frolics and defensive mistakes and the occasional brain cramp, which they're hoping he'll outgrow.
Woo, what a curveball by Carrasco, baby. Carrasco, 14 straight retires. Absolutely amazing right now. Let's go.
You can believe that. There's the 1-2. Check swing, breaking
Woo-hoo!
ball in there. Strike
What a
three
curveball
ball.
by Carrasco,
Got him with a
baby.
curve.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's 14 in a row. Retired by Carrasco. Picks up his 5th strikeout.
14 in a row
Back to the
retired.
top of the order, and Cesar Hernandez.
I wonder what the plan is here for Buck Showalter, because Carrasco's really rolling here. He wants to get Jason Shreve in, and Shreve is up right now.
Woo-hoo.
Soto is next.
Let's go.
It seems like it would be the perfect time, but do you really want to take Carrasco out when he's doing this?
Infield over shifted for Hernandez, batting left-handed in the first pitch.
Hernandez, it's a fly ball to center. It looks like it's going to be a candid corner for Nimmo. 2 outs.
Already shown us that he's going to say
Is he
consistently.
going to take out Carrasco for Soto and leave Jason, bring in Jason Shreve, or leave Carrasco? Oh, Buck Showalter's coming.
Pretty deep to center. Nimmo going back with a play under it, and he makes the one-hand catch.
All right, guys. So Buck Showalter is taking out Carlos Carrasco to bring in Jason Shreve for the left-hander Juan Soto. So what a performance by Carlos Carrasco. 5 2/3, 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Amazing. Absolutely a great performance by Carlos Carrasco, guys. So we're in a commercial break right now, waiting for Jason Shreve to come in to pitch to Juan Soto. Carlos Carrasco, 5 2/3. One more time, guys. 5 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 14 straight batters. 14 straight batters. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in a row for Carlos Carrasco. Shut down ever since the Josco base hit in the first inning. Absolutely dominant performance by Carlos Carrasco. If you would have told me 5 2/3, 1 run to Carlos Carrasco, I would have been amazed. And guess what, guys? He did it. But again, guys, it's still a very close game, 2-1 game. Juan Soto's coming up. Jason Shreve on the mound, first time this year. So let's see if Jason Shreve can get Juan Soto and get our offense back up there. We need some insurance run, guys. So right now we're in a commercial break, waiting for Jason Shreve to warm up to pitch to Juan Soto. Absolutely amazing performance. Can't ask for more than that. Every pitcher went at least 5 innings for the Mets in the first 4 games. Mets starters have gave up only 4 runs in the first 4 games. 4. That is absolutely amazing. And guess what? Who gave the most out of the 4 pitches? Max Scherzer of 3. McGill 0. Scherzer 3. Bassett 0. Carrasco 1. Absolutely amazing. So they're looking at, they've put a graphic for Carrasco. Pitch usage today: 31% fastball, 29% changeup, slider, 24% changeup, 16% curveball. So he used everything. Not bad for a 4th starter. Absolutely can. So here we go, guys. Jason Shreve, first outing of the year for Jason Shreve against one of the best hitters in baseball in Juan Soto. Here we go, guys. Radio on.
.com today. So for Shreve, it's his season's debut for the Mets, but not his Mets debut. You might recall that he pitched for them 2 years ago in the COVID season of just 60 games. Juan Soto 0 for 2. And this one on the first pitch by Shreve is taken low, a slider, 1 ball and no strikes. Now Shreve absolutely owned left-handed pitchers 2 years ago. He held the lefties to just 2
hits. Yes, baby. Jason Shreve got a grounder to short, and we're out of the inning.
1 and done because of the 3-batter rule.
Beautiful.
1-0 the count. Pitch, check swing, roller to the right side. Lindor up with it, throws to first.
There we go, guys. Jason Shreve got Juan Soto out. He did his job. Going to the top of the 7. Mets lead 2-1. Once again, guys, Carlos Carrasco with the best outing start in his Mets career, even though it's less than 1 year. Very nice to see Carlos Carrasco as our number 4 starter. 5 innings, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 15. Let me just get it one more time, guys, for everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 retired in a row for Carlos Carrasco. The best start for Carrasco as a New York Met. Absolutely great performance. Couldn't expect more from Carlos Carrasco. During the pregame live stream, guys, I said I have no problem with Carlos Carrasco going 5 innings, 3 or 4 runs. Well, guess what? He outperformed what I expected. 5 2/3, 1 run, 15 straight retired. Absolutely great performance. Now the Mets lineup. Offense is coming up. 8-9-1. McNeil, Nito, and Brandon Nimmo, guys. So nice performance for the New York Mets at the moment, guys. But we need some insurance runs. The bullpen's going to go the rest of the way. Probably going to see Lugo. Probably going to see, let's see, who we see next. Maybe Sean Reed Foley. Now, you got to remember, Lugo is going to probably be our closer tonight. Ottavino went 2 straight nights, so he might not be available. So you're probably going to see Foley. You're probably going to see Lugo. Drew Smith can easily go 2 innings. Maybe Chase Shreve will come out for the next inning since Nelson Cruz and Josh Bell and Ruiz coming up in the middle of their order. So we'll see. So a very nice performance by Carrasco. 8-9-1 for the Mets. McNeil, Nito, and Nimmo. So once again, guys, the radio call is going to be back on. See you in the half inning.
The Nationals, Steve Cishek will stay on to face Jeff McNeil leading off the 7th. But, you know, the big story so far this afternoon is Carlos Carrasco looking like Carlos Carrasco of his best days in Cleveland, Wayne.
That's the guy the Mets traded for when they picked up Lindor and Carrasco from Cleveland last year. We didn't see that Carlos Carrasco or even the real Francisco Lindor last year. If the Mets get both of those guys back the way they should be, it's going to be a good year for the Mets. First pitch to McNeil outside, ball 1. As he leads off the 7th, another inning for Steve Cishek, who threw 19 pitches in the 6th. Walked Dominic Smith, struck out Marcana in a scoreless inning. It's only up by 1. It's 2-1, trying to sweep this series. 1-0. Neal pops one foul behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike as we come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly and keep it off your light blue shirt. Like me. 1 ball, 1 strike on McNeil.
Tar Heel blue he's wearing. They generally call it powder blue, but
yeah, I prefer powder blue or baby blue. Tar Heel blue. 1-1. Outside and high, 2-1. I have no connection to anything Tar Heel.
Buddy, looking at that get up wouldn't think so.
Outside of an affinity for Michael Jordan. 2 balls, 1 strike on McNeil. Cishek, the submarine right-hander deals. Fastball a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's kind of more sidearm these days than having submarine like you used to. 3 balls and a strike on McNeil. Nito follows, then Nimmo. Top of the 7th inning. You know, I don't like connection between the Expos and the Nationals. I feel like when they moved, they started anew. 3-1. That's high, ball 4. McNeil draws a walk.
All right, lead off walk, guys. Here we go. Tomas Nito coming up.
Still play along statistically that they're the same franchise.
Let's get a couple more insurance runs.
So, considering that,
100% agree, Ken. I'm glad Steven Matz is not back.
Road against this franchise.
Come on, Tomas.
Was in Montreal.
Let's go.
And it was a long time ago, over 4th of July, 1991. Mets won 4 straight at Olympic Stadium.
Nito bunting down the third baseline. He's going to get a hit.
Montreal, and although it would have made no sense at
A
all,
bunt hit for Tomas Nito. First and second, nobody out for the Mets.
Washington Expos.
Frankie called it.
Yes, I would. First pitch to Nito. Shows bunt. Bunts toward the third base side. Good bunt. Franco charges. He's going to have to put it in his pocket. A bunt single for Tomas Nito.
What a bunt by Tomas Nito.
He was just trying to move.
The speedster beating it out.
Such a great bunt.
Didn't even cause a throw.
He was using one of Otis Nixon's broken bats.
Beautiful.
That was a beautiful bunt by Nito.
And you know what? The third baseman, Franco, wasn't even playing back.
8 and 9 get on to start the
All right, guys. Here we go. Top of the order. First and second, nobody out. This is where the Mets shine. 4, 5, and 6, 7th inning.
He's going to bring Sean Doolittle into this game.
All right, so Cishek is going to get out of the game. Sean Doolittle will come into the game.
2 men to reach. Doolittle will try to clean up the mess. as Brandon Nimmo, Lindor, and Cano are all due up. Mets lead 2-1. This pitching change brought to you by the New York Lottery. The newest scratch-off game.
All right, guys. So we're waiting for the pitching change to happen. Sean Doolittle coming into the game. Mets have first and second, nobody out with the top of the order. Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and Robinson Cano coming up with nobody out. So this is where the Mets usually shine. Again, the middle of the game. The Mets seem like they get the starter out, they get the bullpen in, and that's when they pounce. So this is the moment the Mets either get some insurance funds for the rest of the bullpen that's going to come in. Excuse me, guys. I'm just doing my scorecard. Don't mind me. So Sean Doolittle coming into the game right now. The Mets are getting a rally going right now. First and second, nobody out. Brandon Nimmo coming to the plate. Top of the order. Exactly what the Mets looking for right now. We just need it. Look, we don't need big home runs here. We need base hits, doubles. That's what we need. This is the Mets' MO this year. Manufacturing runs. They're not a power hitting team. Obviously, they hit 2 home runs in 4 games by McNeil and Alonso. This team manufactures runs. Base hits, sac flies, moving the runners over, bunting. This is the Mets team that I was expecting in the offseason based on their lineup. They weren't a big home run hitting team, and they proved it already. They're not a big home run hitting team. They're a team manufacturing runs, putting the bat on the ball, making the defense make a play. That is huge for this Mets team. The Mets team did not do that over the last couple of years, specifically last year. All right, guys, so the SNY came back on, so the radio call is going to be happening. Once again, first and second. So before we get started, Buck Showalter is talking to Nimmo right now, which is really interesting. They showed it before they came back. So telling you what's going on. First and second, nobody out. Brandon Nimmo coming to the plate. Sean Doolittle on the mound. Let's see if the Mets can score some runs, guys. Here's Robbie Rose and Wayne Randazzo.
7th, it's a 2-on, nobody out, trying to extend their lead. It's up 2-1. Batter will be Brandon Nimmo. Introducing the Mets' 60th anniversary Flex Pack. Choose your games and unlock exclusive rewards with Mets.turnstile.fan. Select yours today. Doolittle was thrown the other day. Doolittle was last with the Nationals in 2020. And split last season between Cincinnati and Seattle. Just did not have a very good year. Back now and trying to reestablish the pitcher that he used to be. He was a mainstay at the back end of the Nationals bullpen. Lefty to lefty against Nimmo. First pitch. Fastball looped foul toward the left. Balls and 1 strike. Brandon Nimmo. Doolittle, who famously was a first baseman. First was in the minor leagues in the Oakland organization. Himself into a big league pitcher, a pretty good one at that. 75 career saves with Washington, tied for the 3rd most in their franchise history. No balls and a strike, 2-on, nobody out.
All right, guys, so Brandon Nimmo swung at a nasty slider. 0-2 count to Nimmo so far.
Swing and a miss.
Nimmo's going to start choking up. This is where Nimmo shines right here. 0-2 counts.
Pitch against left-handers. No balls and 2 strikes. Doolittle had a 4.53 ERA last year.
Oof, wow.
Trying to help the Nationals out of a jam. First and second, nobody out. 7th inning, Mets lead 2-1. Nimmo's faced Doolittle once, and he hit a homer off. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Nimmo has struggled today for sure.
Fastball up and in at 94
but
miles
we still
an
got
hour.
2-3. Lindor coming up
like
right now. First and second, 1 out. So we still got a chance, guys. Lindor hit a solo home run in the 4th inning to tie the game. So we'll see if the Lindor. I like him batting right-handed in this spot.
Natural side against the lefty Doolittle.
He's a much better right-handed hitter than left-handed hitter. So let's see if he can do some damage against Doolittle. Come on, Frankie.
Lindor's got a home run in this game. Came from the left side of the plate. took Eric Fetty deep. Back in the fourth. Mets lead 2-1. Runners on first and second, one out. Doolittle ready his pitch. High and tight to Lindor. 1 ball, no strikes. Doolittle was an all-star a couple of times, including once with the Nationals in 2018.
I want to know the Francisco. Let's go.
When his career started to dip the other direction. Gave up a lot of home runs that year. Remember, the Mets touched him up a couple of times late in games at Citi Field. He'll have a career-high 11 homers in 2019. Really had not been very good in 20 or 21 either. 1-0. Door pops one foul toward the right out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a guy who's normally been very good, a strike thrower for sure. 1 year with Oakland.
Come on, Frankie, let's go. Driving that run.
Hitters and struck out 89 in a season. That was his first All-Star season in 2014. Let's have runners on first and second, 1 out.
All right, 2 down, guys.
1 ball, 1 strike on Lindor. Doolittle's pitch. Lindor, it's a high fly ball, left center field. Robles backs up, moves to his
Not
right.
looking good, guys.
Backpedaling
Damn it.
now, Robles gets under, makes the catch. 2 outs, the runners hold. Robles fires off a throw toward.
Would you put J.D. Davis pinch hitting for
Lindor
Cano?
flies out. Now Robinson Cano is due up. You know, the Mets do have an option here to go to a right-handed batter. J.D. Davis is available off bench. They could move Escobar to second and have Davis play third. That's the direction the Mets want
Cano's
to go
coming up to the plate, so
Or
no
Starling
pinch hitter at
Marte
this moment.
even is available off the bench. Then you could move McNeil back to second base and put Marte in the outfield. So there's some possibilities here for the Mets. They don't have to use Cano here in a lefty-lefty spot against
Let's go,
Sean
Robbie.
Doolittle.
Let's get 2 out. I'll be out here.
These two have faced off a bunch. Remember, Doolittle spending a lot of time in Oakland. And Robinson Cano in Seattle.
Thank you, James.
Cano has never had much success with Doolittle. 4 for 25.
Yeah, we need
lifetime
Cano
with
to come
8
through
strikeouts.
right here. Can't leave 2 men on with nobody out.
First pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, and it's 0-1. 95 on the gun from Doolittle. A lot of trust in Robinson Cano, as you'd expect. Cano's earned that. A career that has been filled with many hits, regardless if the pitcher throws right-handed or left-handed. The Mets do have some options here, and they've decided not to use them to try to extend their lead. Here at the top of the 7th, it's Cano against Doolittle. 2 on, 2 out.
I don't know. I would have rather
Strike.
pinch hit J.D. Davis in
We're up
this
2-1.
spot. You got to put a
Doolittle's ready.
right-hander in this spot. I know you want to trust your
1
veteran
pitch.
in Cano, but
Cano swings and misses.
I don't like it. I don't like that move.
Fastball,
It's the first move
0-2.
I see Buck Showalter not making that I thought he should have made.
Doolittle works on the first base side of the rubber, and at that, he really has started to turn his back toward the hitter. A 3-quarter delivery. There's a lot of across-the-body movement coming from Doolittle that makes it even tougher for a left-handed batter to pick up the
damn it.
baseball.
Strike 3.
Doolittle struck out Nimmo. Lindor flied out. Now he's ahead of Cano 0-2. 2 out, 2 on. 2-1 Mets. Doolittle's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Doolittle just overpowering Cano. 3 fastballs. Doolittle lets out a big bellow near the pitcher's mound as he comes in and does a
Yeah, guys. See, I really think that Buck should have. This is the first time I didn't agree with Buck in this spot. I really think he should have pinch hit J.D. Davis in that spot. You could easily put Escobar at second, J.D. Davis at third, or if you even want to put Guillaume at third, you could have done that as well. I think you should have put a right-hander in that spot. That was the perfect moment for that. You know, it was a key moment in the game right there, only a 2-1 lead. I didn't like it. I know Buck's been trusting his guys and keeping the lineup steady for the most part, but J.D. Davis should have been in that spot. But you know what? Buck trusted the veteran, but it didn't come through. So the Mets still lead 2-1 going to the bottom of the 7th. Sean Doolittle came in and did what he had to do. A nice performance for Sean Doolittle out of the bullpen. But you know what? Again, Brooke Showalter is not perfect. You know, he trusted his veteran. It is what it is. It happens. You know, you're not always going to agree with the manager, but yeah, Angel, the Mets have left a lot of men on base, but they also scored a lot of. You know, they've been a lot better with men in scoring position too. But unfortunately, I mean, I would have changed. I would have put Davis in that spot. Fausto, I understand with the Mets need defense on the field. I agree, but when you have an opportunity to score, get some insurance runs, you got to do it. You know what? If you don't want Davis to play third base, you got to remember you're not using your bench as much anymore with the DH anymore. There's no pitcher you got to pinch hit for. So even if you use JD Davis in that spot and you don't want him in the field, you put Luis Guillorme at third base and problem solved. And you put Escobar at second. It solves your problem. So, you know, clearly, you know, not only do you have a lefty against Cano has shown already he can't turn on a 94, 95 miles an hour fastball lately. You know, most of his home runs have been guys who've been throwing 91, 92, and he's been getting his hits on the breaking ball. So that all tells me that I really think that JD Davis should have been in that spot. Again, if you wanted to put defense out, help your defense and keep your defense going, you could have just put Guillorme at third base and just put JD Davis to pinch hit in that spot. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes, but it can bite you. Yeah, you want your defense in there, but it's not the ninth inning. You still got a couple innings to go here. You got to score some runs, though. You have to score some runs. 2-1 game right now. That one run that could have been scored at second base could determine the game right here. Right now you got Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, and Ruiz up against. It looks like Chase and Shreve, if I'm not mistaken. So we will see. Chase and Shreve is still on the mound for the Mets, so we'll see how it goes. We'll listen to the call right now, guys.
Jason Shreve is still on the mound facing Nelson Cruz. Cruz has driven in the only run in this game for Washington with a home run. First pitch. Outside, ball one. Trevor May is throwing now in the Mets bullpen. Shreve retired Juan Soto. Next swing ground out to end the bottom of the sixth, and he's back out for the seventh. In relief of Carrasco, the 1-0 is low. 2-0 and 2 balls and no strikes now on Cruz. Shreve, by rule, does have to face 3 hitters now that he's gone back out for his second inning. So he will have to face Cruz and Bell before the Mets can make a change. 2 balls and no strikes on Nelson Cruz. Shreve's pitch. That's in there. A strike on the outer half. 2-1. Power report sponsored by the Tri-Acura dealers. Plenty of power in Nelson Cruz's career. His 450th home run earlier today. That's on a homer too. Lindor hit it. 2-1. That's down and in. 3 balls, 1 strike on Nelson Cruz. Shreve often in his career has shown reverse splits, meaning he has gotten right-handers out better than he has lefties a lot of his career. A good changeup. That's part of it. 3 balls and 1 strike on Nelson Cruz. Shreve belt tie set his pitch. Cruz high drive, right center, pretty deep, back canna, near the warning track, reaching up, makes the catch. Right before
Nelson
the
Cruz
wall,
just missed that,
right
guys.
center. Cruz gave it a ride the other way. Mark Canna tracks it down, and there's 1 out here in the 7th. Josh Bell will be the batter now.
Let's go, Jason. Let's
let that
go.
ball get in a little bit too deep on him. Didn't quite hit it as hard as he needed to. Drive it a little bit further out of the reach of Mark Canna. Now with 1 out, nobody on. Josh Bell bats right-handed against the lefty Shreve. Bell, a switch hitter. He'll pull to the left, not overshifted. First pitch. Shreve pumps in a strike. It's 0-1. Field is shaded toward right center for Bell, who has tremendous power. The 0-1. It's over below. 1 ball, 1 strike. We saw Bell smash a home run against Scherzer. 443 feet.
Nice pitch by
Ball, 1
Shreve.
strike,
1-2
1
count to
out,
Bell.
nobody on. 7th inning. Mets lead 2-1. Bell singled his first time up today. It's the last time Washington's had a base runner. It was 2 outs in the first. Back-to-back hits. 1-1. Fastball strike on the inner half. 1-2. Cruz homered. Bell singled. Washington hasn't had a base runner since then. Carlos Carrasco retired 15 straight to end his day. Shreve has set down the first 2 that he's faced. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bell. Shreve's pitch. Change up in the dirt. It's 2-2. On deck, Keibert Ruiz, another switch hitter. Carrying up to bat right-handed against Shreve, if Shreve is still in the game. Bell is the last batter that Shreve has to face. Now nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shreve's pitch. Again, Bell laid
Come on,
off
Jason,
the
don't
split
walk
change
anybody. Let's
down
go.
in the zone, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bell. It's trying to sweep a 4-game series to start the year, looking to be 4-0. Just the 5th time in the history of the franchise, the first time in 10 years. 3-2. Bell pops it up foul, right side out of play. Still 3-2. The Mets have only had 1 season where they've started 5-0. That was 1985. Team that won a lot of games, plenty of games to make a playoff appearance now with the extra playoff spots, a few wild cards thrown in there. It was not enough in 1985 to get to the playoffs and overtake the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was 98 games they won. Darryl Strawberry hadn't ripped up his thumb in May and missed 6 weeks. Might have been a different story. One stunk.
All right, so Shreve just walked Bell.
Still or no?
That's not good.
We got it back next year.
3-2. Outside. Was the changeup again from Shreve. He just couldn't get it over, and Bell laid off. Shreve
Like
got ahead
Howie and
1-2.
Wayne said, Shreve
Bell
has to pitch the
coaxes
3
one
batters
with
since he
1
started
out.
the new inning. So he
Now
has to pitch to
will bat
Ruiz. This
again,
is
a
the last
switch hitter.
batter until he can take him out.
Batting
Trevor May
right-handed
is
against
warming up in the
lefty
bullpen.
Shreve. Let's have Trevor May up in the bullpen. There's a left-handed batter on deck. It's Yadiel Hernandez. The Nationals
Come on,
rather have a
Jason.
lefty on deck in Hernandez. Plenty of right-handed options on the bench for Washington, including Lane Thomas, Alcides Escobar, and Riley Adams. Let's see what moves the managers make here as this one gets tight late. First pitch. Upstairs, ball 1 to Ruiz.
And those 3 guys you just mentioned are a combined 1 for 20 in this series. 3 right-handed hitters you referred to who are available to Davey Martinez.
The bottom of the Nationals order, 6 through 9, in this series are a combined 1 for 45. Not much happening at the bottom of the order for Washington, regardless of who they've used. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch. Ruiz had a good cut, fouled it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. This guy can hit from both sides of the plate. Keibert Ruiz shaping up to be a real good ball player.
Nice
He
pitch
has
by
more power
Shreve.
left-handed
Go.
than he does right-handed.
Buck has been confident in his bullpen for sure. He's trusting his guys. There's no problem with that.
Left side is his natural side. 1-1.
I mean, you're going to have to trust
Swing
these
and a
guys
miss
at some
with
point.
change up there.
Get
1-2.
part of your
That's
bullpen.
why Showalter's keeping the lefty in there.
1-2 count to Ruiz.
Pace Ruiz,
1 out,
because
1 on.
This is his weaker side.
This
so
is
they
his
said,
3rd batter of the inning, so he might
ball,
be
2
taken out
strikes.
after this. We'll see. What a pitch. Strike 3.
Feeling
Yeah.
a double play depth,
Swing and
a
a miss,
double play
baby.
target at
That's
the
what I'm
plate
talking
here in
about.
Ruiz. Bell at first, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. It's lead to
What
the
a
1.
pitch by Shreve. 2 outs.
Shreve ready from the belt.
Let's see if he's
Right
going to
leg
leave
kick
Shreve in there
pitch.
for the lefty,
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yadiel Hernandez.
Ruiz
We'll see.
biting on the split change.
What a pitch.
Down and away. Way out
Oh,
in front of
DJ. Salute from
Big
DR, baby.
strikeout for Shreve, 2 down in the inning. The Nationals are going to keep Hernandez up there. They're going with the left-handed.
All right, so they're
batter to
leaving
face the
Yadiel
left-handed
Hernandez
pitcher
in
instead of
as the hitter,
putting up
and
a
Shreve is going to
right-handed
face him. He
pitcher.
is the lefty. 2
Just
outs,
draw
1 on
May into the game.
for the Nationals.
Davey Martinez likes
See
his
if he can
chances
get out of
better
this.
with Yadiel Hernandez
Trusting
facing Shreve.
Shreve to get out of the inning here.
Bronco
I
is
like
on
it.
deck, so this will likely be the last batter for Shreve either way. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Mets. 2 outs, 1 on. Pitch. Fastball missed the inside corner. 1 ball, no strikes on Yadiel
Ooh.
Hernandez.
Wow, what a pitch. Swing and a miss.
Mets scored both of their runs in the 4th. Lindor hit a homer. Marcana had a 2-out RBI single. So led ever since. 2-1. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Splitter works to both lefties and righties. Shreve got Hernandez there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yadiel Hernandez, not a young player.
Bella's running. Got
Another
caught
dude
stealing
to
second
the major
base,
league
baby.
level. He's 34
What a
years
throw
old.
by Nito. Out of the inning.
He's
There
the
we
oldest
go.
player in major league history to have his first career home run be a walk-off home run. He did that a couple of years ago. Runner going, pitch low, and now Bell's hung out to dry. Throw to second, he's out.
Yes.
It was a hit and run or a missed sign, but
That's what I'm
Hernandez
talking
didn't offer the pitch in the dirt. And Josh Bell, who's not a fast base runner,
Woo-hoo.
was thrown out at second by
Out of the
Tomas
inning. Going
Nido
to the top of
by
the
about
8th.
15 feet. So the Nationals run themselves out of a chance here.
All right, guys. So we're going to the top of the 8th. Chasing Shreve with an inning in the 3rd. Getting out of the inning. Beautiful, beautiful pitching by Shreve. And a nice throw to Nito to get Josh Bell. I don't know why he was stealing in that situation, but he helped out the Mets. We're going to the top of the 8th. Mets 2, Nationals 1. So the Mets have up Alonso, Escobar, Smith. We need some insurance runs. No doubt about that. So it looks like Trevor May is going to be the one coming in for the 8th and probably saving Lugo for the closer's spot in the 9th. So I would like a few more insurance runs, guys. I think you all can agree with that. But once again, Mets starters have been pitching well. The Mets bullpen has been pitching well. Very nice to see everybody. Buck is trusting his guys in the bullpen. You know, they're not the greatest guys in the world, but you know what? You trust your guys, put them in the right spots. 9 out of 10 times, they're probably going to come for you. Frank, I do agree with you about Trevor May. I don't like him in that spot, but looking at the lineup for Trevor May, you're going to have Hernandez, Franco, and Fox. So it's the bottom of the lineup, so it's not a worse position. You're going to need Lugo to go back to the top of the lineup in the 9th for sure. G Don, why the Mets? Because my father was a Met fan. He took me to games, and I just became a Met fan. It's just, you know what? I grew up in the late 90s. So, yeah, I should be a Yankee fan, but I'm not. And you know what? All the misery, look, it is what it is at this point. What can he do? All right, guys, so going back to the game right now. So why he's showing this. So the radio call is going to come back just now. They're showing a replay of why Josh Bell is running. I have no idea, but they got him by a mile, and it just helped us out. All right, guys, so here we go. Mets are coming up in the top of the 8th. You got Alonso, Escobar, and Dominic Smith.
Bell was out by a good 10 or 15 feet on stealing to end the 7th inning. So the Mets still have the lead. It's 2-1. 8th inning about to begin. We'll pause for station ID on the WCBS Mets
All
Radio.
right, I got to lower the station ID because that's copyright issues. All right, here we go.
2-1. So for some
Al
insurance
Finnegan
runs
on the
here
mound
later. Remember, they
for
don't have Edwin
the
Diaz.
Nationals.
He's on the bereavement list. Won't be back on the roster at least until Tuesday at the earliest. Trying to get this done today without him on the back end. You have Seth Lugo, who will likely get a save situation today. We'll see if it comes to that. The Mets certainly
See if
take
the
that
Mets
out
can
of
get some
play.
insurance run, guys.
Kyle Finnegan is the new pitcher for the Nationals. Pete Alonso will lead off the 8th. Play-by-play, here's Howard.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. Alonso 0 for 3, robbed of a hit by a nice play by a diving Lucius Fox, the shortstop, making his big league debut today. That was in the second inning. Now, Kyle Finnegan, righty against righty, to Alonso. And the first pitch is taken high for ball one, a slider. Remember, Alonso has been on base in 22 consecutive games in this ballpark.
A line drive up the middle, hit the pitcher.
Today's game.
But he got Alonso's out.
Be in jeopardy with his plate appearance here. Outfield straight away. And the 1-0 from Finnegan. It hard up the middle, off of Finnegan's leg. It ricochets out towards first. Finnegan picks it up, throws to first in time. And that is a hard out for Alonso. And Finnegan appears to be okay. The trainer and manager, Davey Martinez, are on their way to the mound. Well, he got off the mound okay in pursuit of that. Now he's holding on to his right hip. And take a look when we see a replay of exactly where it got him. I think he just pointed to his upper thigh. And ball ricocheted pretty vigorously towards the first base line. Finnegan was able to pursue it immediately.
So that was a rocket off of Pete Alonso's.
That right thigh now.
Off of the bat of Alonso, hit Finnegan right in the thigh, the right thigh. And he looks okay, so he's doing warm-up pitches right now. He should be okay, so we'll see. That definitely hurt.
Right now, Finnegan's going to try to stay in this one, but he's got to.
But all right, so it's one down for the Mets. Escobar coming up at the plate.
He's okay. They want him to throw a couple of warm-up pitches. First one looks pretty good from up here. You try hitting it.
That was 109 miles an hour off the bat. So we talk about batters getting hit by pitches. No one's ever gotten hit by a pitch that was 109 miles an hour before. That's what was coming back to Finnegan. 109 that hit him on the right side. That just looks
worse on replay.
Now.
Thank God it didn't hit him in the face, because that would have killed him.
He seemed to turn into it.
All right, so Escobar at the plate right now, 1 out, top of the 8, Mets lead 2-1.
Slow motion look down, maybe a little bit lower, kind of in between the hip and the knee, right on the thigh. Man, 109.
But he's hanging in. He's going to stay in the game and now face Eduardo Escobar, who's 1 for 3. The infield is overshifted. Switch hitter batting left. First pitch to Escobar. Swing and a miss. And a sinker on the count, 0-1. Dial it right back up there at 95.
That's Trevor Williams throwing in their bullpen.
Interesting. Trevor Williams.
Nationals have lefty Yadiel
coming
Hernandez.
in is in the bullpen right now. Trevor May is not. Interesting.
Fox due up in the bottom of the 8th.
Very
inning.
interesting.
Left-right switch. Here's the 0-1. Rides high with a heater at 96. 1 ball and 1 strike. Spectrum Mobile has the most reliable service coast to coast. Plus 5G is included at no extra cost. Switch and save today. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com today. It's trying to make it 4 in a row to start the season and sweep the series. Pitch. Bouncing ball to first. Behind the bag. It's backhanded by Bell. Shovels to the pitcher. Finnegan covering in time, and there are 2 men away. The injury update is brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just
all right, so Dom Smith's up with 2 outs now in the top of the 8th.
Finnegan looked like he might be on that injured list. Part of our injury report just a moment ago, but he got the leg on the line drive, or the line drive got on the leg more accurately off the bat of Alonso. Was able to throw Pete out. Now 2 out, nobody on, and Dom Smith, who has flied to center and walked twice, will be next. That's 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Nationals 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Those hits came back-to-back in the first inning. Homer by Cruz, single by Bell. They haven't had a hit since then. First pitch to Smith, fastball for a called strike, 0-1. The veteran righty Trevor Williams getting ready in the Mets pen now.
Up and in to Dom Smith. Just missed him.
Satisfied.
They went right to Buck Showalter. They gave him that nice stare down.
To get his entire bullpen work in this series. It's a 1-run game here in the 8th. The 0-1 up and in under the elbow of Smith. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's go, Dom.
I did not realize this until I saw it this morning, that no Met manager had ever won his first 3 games as Met skipper until Buck Showalter. Of course, Davey Johnson lost his first game opening day in 1984, and then I think they reeled off 7 in a row after that. A 1-1 pitch. Taken on the outside corner, a sinker. It's 1-2, and Smith doesn't think so. As he says something to Ryan Addington. Home plate him. Tom shaking his head a little bit. All the while keeping his feet in the batter's box.
That was a bad pitch.
Just trying to shake.
All right, going to the top, bottom of the 8, guys.
Doesn't agree with. He's behind in the count here, 1-2. Hernandez way out in short right field. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball at 96. Tom tried to stop the swing, but had gone too far.
All right, guys, we're going to the bottom of the 8th. It looks like Trevor Williams is coming in for the Mets, which is very interesting. Just filling out my scorecard, guys. Just give me a moment. So the Mets did not get any insurance runs. Going to the bottom of the 8th. Trevor Williams looks like he's coming in. Very interesting choice, actually. But again, you hold on to May. You still got Lugo possibly for the 9th. So, oh boy. So again, for the Nationals, 7, 8, 9, Hernandez, Franco, and Fox against, well, Trevor Williams, it seems like. Yeah, I think he was expecting a breaking ball, Ken, and I think Dom just started early, just try to catch up to him, just didn't. But you know what? The Mets offense hasn't shown a lot this today, unfortunately. But again, you ain't gonna score all the time. I honestly thought the Mets were gonna need 4 or 5 runs today, just based on Carrasco. I thought we're gonna give up a couple of runs. But you know what? It shows that the Mets can win in 1-run games. That's important too. Mets had trouble last year with 1-run games. They lost a total of 9 1-run games in August, and 8 or 9 1-run games in August last year, and it screwed up their chances of making the playoffs. So guys, Jason Shreve is pitching again because Yadiel Hernandez is still on the at bat. So let's see. Jason Shreve's still pitching, and Jason Shreve gives us a base hit to Hernandez. So Shreve is definitely out of the game now. All right, guys. So here we go. They came back from commercial rather quickly.
As we begin the bottom of the 8th, first pitch, swinging a liner towards second over the glove of Cano and into right field for a base hit. Well, Hernandez had been at the plate when Josh Bell, who might have misread what he thought was a hit and run sign, took off for second and was thrown out. Well, now Hernandez, after that caught stealing into the 7th, leads off the bottom of the 8th with a single, and Buck Showalter immediately heads out to the mound, and he's going to bring righty Trevor Williams into the game for New York.
All right, guys. So now Trevor Williams is coming into the game. So we're getting a pitch and change right now. So I'll be with you for now. So I'm surprised Buck obviously Buck wanted to keep Shreve in for the lefty Hernandez, but first pitch. First pitch, unfortunately, just got a quality hit. So once again, a leadoff hit for Hernandez for the Nationals in the bottom of the 8th. Trevor Williams is coming in. Going to face Michael Franco. So, again, the insurance runs the Mets needed, they have not got in this point in the game. So, let's hope the Mets can just not let him score here because, again, Mets had numerous opportunities in this game with runners in scoring position, men on base, less than 2 outs, and they didn't get nothing in. So, again, the bullpen, Carrasco has been pitching well, keeping the Nationals to 1 run right now. But again, let's just hope that the bullpen can continue. Trevor Williams, first time pitching this year. He was okay for us last year with his starts. A couple of times he came out in the bullpen. Again, he's in a big spot right now 2-1 Mets. Coming in with a guy on first with nobody else. So it's going to be a tough go for Trevor Williams. So he has Michael Franco, Robles. I'm sorry, Franco, Fox, and Robles. So it's not going to be easy. All right, guys. So we're going back to the game right now. The radio should come back on just in a second.
To involve the entire bullpen over this series. This will be a challenge for Williams, as it would for any reliever coming into this situation, with the Mets holding a 1-run lead and the tying run at first. Nobody out at the bottom of the 8th inning. Michael Franco, right-hand hitter, who has really hurt the Mets in the past, but has been absolutely silent in this series. 0 for 12 against them, will be the batter. Williams picked up from the Cubs with Javi Baez in that deal last summer for Pete Crow Armstrong, former first-round pick of the Mets. He's been around a little bit, the Pirates as well as the Cubs. He's certainly a major league caliber pitcher and a good guy to have around for depth. This is a good spot for him to really open some eyes late in the game. So here's Franco. Hernandez leads from first pitch. Hit on the ground up the middle, past the diving Cano, base hit center field, on his way to third. Hernandez, Nemo's throw will come into second as Hernandez slides into third. Michael Franco with his first hit of the year, a line drive single up the middle is aboard at first. And now the Nationals have runners at first and third and nobody out.
Not good, guys. Not good.
About Williams here, he has not pitched at
I don't understand.
His last outing was
Trevor Williams in this spot. You got May, you got Lugo. I don't know. You got Foley.
Heat for trouble here.
Damn it.
Facing the switch-hitting rookie Lucius Fox in his major league debut. Fox taking a long look down at Gary DiSarcina, the third base coach for the Mets, who are going to play their infield back up the middle. They will try to double up Fox on a ground ball hit up the middle, which would allow the tying run to score. Escobar even with a bag at third. First pitch, batting left-handed. He dribbles one foul over by the Washington dugout.
So the Mets are playing double play bet. They'll let the run score, which is very interesting.
So it won't take much of a fly ball to get him home.
Gordon running for Hernandez now. The strange Gordon.
Suicide squeeze.
But again, the Mets
God damn it.
back up the middle.
Why did Alonso underarm that ball?
Outfield a step towards right, the pull side. Here's the 0-1. Bunted up the first base line. Here comes Gordon to the plate. Alonso up with it, flips home the slide. He's safe with a head first slide. D. Gordon beats the throw. The Nationals have tied the game 2-2. Franco to second, and Lucius Fox with a bunt single for his first major league hit. And it drives in the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now the Nationals in position to try to grab the lead. At first and second, nobody out.
Well, Alonso's going to try to get the out at home. He's got to make that play more quickly. He came in, he backhanded the ball, and then he took an extra step to flip it to the plate. He just has to charge like a third baseman would, barehand, and flip it in one motion. That's the only way to get that out. Lumbering forward, bending down to backhand, and then getting himself up to throw it to the plate took way too long for a runner the caliber of D. Strange Gordon, and Gordon able to sprint home and dive across the plate ahead of that throw.
So a 2-2 game. Now the Mets look for the bunt on the corners as they pinch. Trevor Williams.
Yeah, I understand trying to let everybody in the game, but Trevor Williams.
And then inside with a fastball comes Williams. And did he hit him or did he swing at it?
Let's try our best to keep this game tied.
He was apparently not hit. And as they appealed to first, Mark Carlson said he didn't go around either. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, now they're going to give Fox only credit for a fielder's choice rather than a bunt single. They'll say sacrifice and a fielder's choice. So he does not have his first big league hit, but a nice enough bunt to get the game tied. He'll get that first hit soon enough, I'm sure.
That is his first RBI.
Oh.
So 1-0, the count now to Robles. Williams to the belt. Both corners in very tight. Runners lead second and first. The pitch. Squares to bunt, pulls around or pulls it back and takes a breaking ball low. It's 2-0 with Cesar Hernandez on deck. Nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen here. I thought Diaz wasn't here. That's Edwin Diaz's entry music.
All right, that was a bad bump by Robles. 1 out.
Well, anyway, it's not limited to New York. Right now, the Mets and Nationals tied at 2 with Washington threatening in the 8th. First and second, nobody out.
All right, 1 out, guys. Oof.
Here's the 2-0. Robles squares, bunts, pops it up. Williams has it. Looks to second, but nobody's there because they had the wheel play on.
All right, we got 1 out, guys. Still got a
corners.
double play
Lindor,
chance here,
the shortstop,
guys.
was going to cover third. Cano, the second baseman, was going to cover first. So there was nobody at second to take a potential throw. And an attempt to double.
All right, so Cesar Hernandez is up right now.
Big out there.
Still have a chance to get out of this inning in the tie game.
Just popping it up, kind of bunted it on a line. Didn't have a whole lot of height to it. And Williams was able to make the play easily for the first out. So back to the top of the order now, and Cesar Hernandez.
Christian, I agree. That was a very bad defensive play. He had just enough time to just quickly flip it, but he bent down, took his time. It just wasn't good.
Juan Soto up next. Cesar Hernandez batting left-handed. First pitch on the outside corner. A fastball, 0-1.
Well, Buck Showalter certainly sees the value in making sure his guys get work today as they try to win this game too. But with Juan Soto on deck, you don't see Joely Rodriguez up in the Mets bullpen.
David Peterson's around 2. More of a long man. The 0-1 hit hard but foul down the right field line. And now Williams ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez has struck out, grounded to second, and flied to center. Pretty soon, the shadows are going to be a bit of a factor as they begin.
I still don't like the Trevor Williams move.
Plate area.
You know, you got May, you got Foley, you got Lugo.
The dirt behind the plate right now.
I mean, you have enough guys in it you can use.
Here's the 0-2.
Not this, I don't.
And that's taken low. A change up.
I'm not happy with the Trevor Williams move.
The shadows formed from light stanchions on the third base
All right, we
side
got a
of the
double play
building
ball here.
Are very visible
Oh
as
my
they
God,
edge out
Pete.
into short left field, actually deep left field in the corner as well.
Oh, this is why Pete shouldn't play first base.
Line a little bit, but all the
God
players
damn it.
are in the sunshine for the moment. Here's the 1-2. Hit hard on the ground to first. Up with it is Alonso. Throws to second. A wide throw. Lindor can't get to the bag in time, and everybody is safe. Alonso did not put that throw on the bag.
2 blunders by Pete Alonso. This is why this is why Dominic Smith should be first baseman every day.
Could not get it down in time. As getting down to second base was Fox. Franco goes to third. Hernandez aboard at first. The bases are loaded. 1 out for Juan Soto. And here comes Mets pitching coach Jeremy Hefner. This is going to be up to Williams here, but that was a play that might have gotten the Mets out of the inning.
It should have, and for some reason, Alonso turned away from the play, made a spin towards second base. Instead of just shifting his body to his right, he spun all the way around to his left. It was really a move he didn't need to make, and it might have thrown him off kilter as he made a throw after spinning around that pulled Lindor off the bag at second. Another curious decision defensively here by Pete Alonso. And
2 bad plays by Pete Alonso defensively.
Sound the alarm bells that Dominic Smith, especially in a world where there's a designated hitter, really should be the first baseman. He's much better defensively.
100% agree. Dominic Smith should be the everyday first baseman.
Right now, the Mets have themselves a situation.
Infield is in for the Mets.
2-2. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Nationals have the bases loaded.
Ground ball.
Not a fast man at third.
All right, he got the force at home. Good play, good play.
Hernandez, good speed at first. And Juan Soto, one of the best hitters on the planet in the batter's box.
Got very lucky there.
The first pitch to the left-hand batter, a little dribbler up the first base line. Alonso gloves it, comes.
That was a nice play by Alonso.
They get the out of the plate. No return throw by Nito, and there are 2 men away.
Very nice play by Alonso there. That was a big play. Come on. Nelson Cruz up. Let's go.
And now there are 2 men out, and Nelson Cruz.
A little bit of redemption for Alonso there.
Going after the first pitch.
Very nice play.
And again, you look at how this inning has evolved, and the Mets really should be back in the dugout now.
Absolutely should be, but a good job there by Trevor Williams to get some soft contact.
Come on,
off
Trevor.
the bat of the great Juan Soto in a huge spot. And Alonso that time does make the right play and the right decision.
Go. Get out of this inning tied. I'll take that.
Now it's Cruz who homered in the first, struck out in the fourth, flied to right in the 7th. Bases loaded, 2 out. First pitch to the right-hand batter, low outside. A slider, 1-0. Got Fox at third, Hernandez at second, Soto at first.
Come on.
The Mets playing pretty much conventionally from a defensive standpoint.
Got to be careful here
Couple of
with
steps
Cruz.
the other way in
2-0
the
count now.
outfield. Cano shaded towards the second base bag. All the infielders are deep. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0. And there's no place for Williams to put him. And for a guy with 450 career home runs and Nelson Cruz,
Oof.
this is
On the
a
border
big
for a
pitch
strike.
coming up.
Come on.
Does Williams dare go to the slider on 2-0? Does he come with a
Be
fastball?
huge to get out of this inning just
Cruz
tied.
is ready. Williams sets. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball, it's on the outside corner. Cruz looks at it. Strike one call. Just as Alonso took a pitch that wasn't exactly where he wanted it in a similar situation.
Swung on and missed.
The next one out of the yard.
2-2
Cruz
count.
looks
Come
at
on.
one, and it's 2-1.
That was a fastball right
Williams
down the
from
middle,
first
and
base
Cruz just
side of the
missed it.
rubber. Brings the hands together. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Went right after him. And it's 2-2. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball there from Trevor Williams.
Ground ball up the middle base hit.
By Yadiel Hernandez off of Chase and Shreve. So the run charged to Shreve. 2 to Cruz. Williams ready. Bases loaded, 2 out. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Lindor to his left, can't reach it. Base hit center field. Fox is in. Hernandez is in. The throw comes into second. Going to third is Soto. And on at first with a 2-run single is Nelson Cruz. And the Nationals have gone out in front 4-2.
Now Trevor Williams was asked to do a lot more than he should have been asked because of the defense in this inning. He made some gutsy pitches to try to get out of it. Retired Juan Soto, but left that one in a spot too hittable for Nelson Cruz with a hard ground ball through a hole up the middle.
God damn it.
And now the Mets find themselves trailing with 3 outs left in this one.
Again, I'm sorry, but Buck Showalter should not put Trevor Williams in this game. Granted, the defense didn't help out, but I don't like it.
So Josh Bell will be the batter.
God damn it.
Buck Showalter, who had Trevor May throwing earlier, he was telling us before the game, Buck was, without identifying them, there are some pitchers he wanted to stay away from today. Stayed with Williams. And now here's Bell, and the pitch taken on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1. Williams facing his 7th batter now. Josh Bell, who has singled, flied to left, drawn a walk. It's 4-2 Washington. They've got 3 in here in the bottom of the 8th. 0-1 pitch. Taken below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. A changeup. Williams, very hirsute. I guess that
Agreed,
would be
Frank.
redundant to
Agreed.
say. Very hirsute.
Bad defensive
He's
plays.
got hair flowing down onto his shoulders. Deep beard. The 1-1. Breaks inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Change up with a little wrinkle there from Trevor Williams.
Nah, that wasn't analytics. Buck said it yesterday, Stevie, that he likes to get everybody into the games as quickly as possible.
2-1 to Bell.
So they're not
Outfield
too
around
cold.
towards
But, I
right.
mean, to
Runners
put Trevor
lead from
Williams
the
in this
corners,
situation
2 out.
doesn't make
4-2
sense.
Washington, the 8th.
He had a 2-1 lead.
2-1 pitch.
Doesn't make sense.
Swing on a bouncer foul past Coach Eric Young Jr. down the first base line, and it is 2-2. Williams now just trying to minimize the damage here, give the Mets a crack at it. In the top of the 9th, Kyle Finnegan basically designated as
All right, so we're out of the inning.
a hopeful closer for the Nationals. Worked the 8th inning. They were trailing. Now it's Rainey and Arano throwing in their bullpen, both righties. 2-2 pitch. Swing on a grounder right side or a liner right side. Caught by Alonso moving to his right, and that retires the side. A low line drive, but Pete reached down to grab it, and the inning is over. However, the Nationals scored 3 runs. There were 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left at the end of 8 innings in Washington. It's
All right, so
4,
Mets got the
and
last.
the Mets 2.
You gotta tie this game here. But I do feel like the Mets. I feel like I don't know. Buck kind of made some interesting decisions today that I did not like. Did not like him not pitching it for Cano. No reason why Trevor Williams should be in this game. You're in the 8th inning. You have a 1-run lead. You have Lugo available. You have Foley available. you have May available. I would have rather gone with those guys. Those are your late inning. Lugo and May are your late inning guys. Trevor Williams is one of the last pitchers on the bench in the bullpen. It made no sense. It's not a I've trusted Buck the first 3 games. He made a lot of good decisions, but I didn't like the Cano one. I could have lived with the Cano one, but the Trevor Williams one makes no sense. And you know what? Granted, the defense didn't help him, but you don't put Trevor Williams, who is a journeyman bullpen guy, in the 8th inning of a 1-run game. It doesn't make sense. Gavin, we know what Trevor Williams is. Trevor Williams is a okay pitcher who is not really a bullpen guy. He's basically a long man and a spot start guy. He's not a guy that you put in a crucial situation in the 8th inning. It doesn't make sense. You had May, you had Lugo, you had Foley. Those are the 3 guys that you could have put in the 8th inning right here, and you didn't do it. Again, I was trusting Buck. All right, you're gonna give the veteran a chance, Cano, fine. But Trevor Williams, come on. It's your last guy in the bullpen. Last guy in the bullpen. It just doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense in that spot. But you know what? Again, it's not over yet. We got this top of the 9th here. Let's see if the Mets can try to tie the game here. But I didn't like that at all. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's see if we can keep it going here. Radio back on, guys.
He did have May warming up at one point. May did not pitch in last night's game.
Gavin, it's not complaining. It's just giving any opinion. I don't agree with the move. It's an opinion. We're allowed to complain. All right, so Connor's up right now.
It might have been out of that inning if not for a double play that wasn't turned. And so Mark Canha will lead off against Rainey, the former Cincinnati Red. Another guy with closing stuff. First pitch to the right-hand batter, swing and a miss. A fastball by Rainey, and it's 0-1 to Canha. And the hitters momentarily are going to be at a disadvantage as those shadows are beginning to make their way into the batter's box.
All right, Connor starts it off with a base hit. Here we go.
The right-handed hitter has a little bit of shadow in the back end of the box. That should not obscure his ability to see the ball out of Rainey's hand. Not yet. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a liner over second. It might fall. Here comes Robles. It does fall. Base
all right, guys. Here we go, guys. Leadoff man on.
Cutting in front of Robles picks it up. And Mark Canha is aboard with his 3rd hit of the game, a leadoff single, and the Mets will bring the tying man to the plate now in Jeff McNeil.
The 10th time Mark Canha has been on base in this series, and he didn't even play yesterday.
That's amazing. 10 times in 13 plate appearances, Mark Canha has been aboard. And now here is McNeil, who singled his first time up. He's had a hit in all 4 games of the series. Tomas Nido due up next. We'll see what happens there. Nobody in the on-deck circle yet.
I agree, Christian, 100%.
Jankowski,
well, it's not over yet. J.D. Davis is on deck, ready to pinch it for Nido. See, that's what I don't understand. It makes sense to pinch it for Nido, but it also made sense to pinch it for Cano in the 8th. But that's all right. Let's see if we can get a rally going here.
Fashion in their last turn at bat. Lane Thomas, by the way, is now in left field. Remember, D. Gordon had come on to run for Yadiel Hernandez, who had been playing left field. Gordon out of the game, and now Thomas in left. Want to know the count? The pitch. McNeil takes a breaking ball over the inside corner. Strike 1 called. A couple scores for you, brought to you by Food Bazaar, feeding your way of life. Visit foodbazaar.com for store locations. The A's beat the Phillies 4-1. Billy McKinney, the former Met, hit a home run for Oakland.
Yeah, Derek Connor's good. He's been our best offensive player, basically, for the first 4 games. Been excellent. All right, 1-2 count to Jeff.
Pitch. Swing and a miss by McNeil. And the count 1-2. McNeil swinging over 95 there. Doesn't take long, just another moment or so, before those shadows begin to make their way into the left-hand hitter's batter's box. The right-hand batter's box is almost completely in the shadows. It's more problematic for the hitters as this inning goes on. Here's the 1-2 to McNeil. Lays off a changeup away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flags blowing out a bit towards right field right now. Taking a look at those flags on top of the out-of-town scoreboard in right center field. Pretty much straight away in the outfield against McNeil. Middle infield back at double play depth. Franco deep at third. Rainey ready. Canna leads from first, the 2-2. Swing on a high pop fly to left, not deep. Playable for Thomas over towards the line in the shadows.
Here's the problem that I have with J.D. Davis pinch hitting for Nito now. You wouldn't put J.D. Davis to pinch hit for Cano when it was a lefty on the mound, but you're going to put J.D. Davis in against Rainey, a right-handed, for Nito. I don't understand that. Again, it's a smart pinch hit move. You should pinch hit in this spot, but you could have pinched it for Nito. I'm sorry, Cano in the 8th. So with a lefty on the mound, it's interesting. It's not a great move, but we'll see if J.D. Davis can do some damage here.
Or take a catcher out of the game, because if you tie the game, then you bring McCann into it, and you have no other catchers on the bench. But it's the 9th inning, and you just say to yourself, if you just look at it reasonably, well, you got to play the odds here and go with Davis. And if you tie the game and McCann's in the game, you just hope he stays in one piece. Chances are he will. So here's the first pitch to J.D.
Come on, J.D.
Swing and a miss at a slider. 0-1.
A little better odds these days ever since home plate collisions got taken out of the equation.
Yeah. Then again, you got to worry about the Washington Nationals getting their grip on the ball.
Yeah, that too.
McCann's been hit twice in this series. Davis 1 out of 4 at the plate in this series. Canna, short lead at first. Rainey's 0-1. Swinging a liner to right. Will it hang up for Soto? Yes. He makes the catch at his chest. Fires in behind the runner.
Davis hit it hard, but right at Soto. 2 outs. All right, Brandon Nimmo up. Last out here.
Davis hit it hard, but now there are 2 men away. The Mets are down to their last out. And Brandon Nimmo, who is 0 for 4, will be the batter. So last hope for the Mets here. Carlos Carrasco had been the pitcher of record on the long side. And, well,
come on, Brandon, up to you.
Justice, Carrasco would have come away with a win today because he was absolutely brilliant in his first start. Now, Nimmo, the last chance for the Mets. Keep this thing going. Some of those shadows now out in front of the plate, outlined by the light stanchions on the third base side. They're moving their way up. Nimmo may have a little more trouble finding the ball here. First pitch to him. Swinging a number foul up the first base line. It's 0-1. So Tanner Rainey trying to save it. He had 3 saves with the Nationals last year. Those are the only saves he has in the major leagues. Hard thrower. Who isn't coming out of bullpens these days, right? Infield around towards right. Not a complete overshift. Hernandez out in short right field. The 0-1. Swung on and hit high in the air to left center field. That should end the game. Robles with Thomas. Robles, the center fielder, makes the catch. The ball game is over.
All right, guys. So Brandon Nimmo flat out. Mets lose the first game. Their first game of the year. They're still 3-1. Again, they won the series. Very questionable. I would say questionable moves by Buck Showalter in this game. Again, in the 8th inning with first and second. We'll go back to it right here. In the 7th inning right here, let's see. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, guys. It wasn't a really good performance. Obviously, the Mets didn't score the runs. Again, I thought they needed 4 or 5 runs, and clearly they did. I mean, I thought Carrasco was going to give them up, but again, it's, the Cano not pinch hitting for him was kind of odd. That would have been the perfect moment to put J.D. Davis up with a left-hander on the mound, even though J.D. Davis pinch hit for Nito in the 9th and gave him and hit a ball hard. I thought a better spot with men on base. Davis should have pinched hit for Robinson Cano in the 8th. I think that really hurt us. Again, the Mets didn't score runners in scoring position. They had multiple men on base today. Again, you can't win everything, but I think the Mets had better opportunities to win the game. But then putting Trevor Williams in the 8th didn't make sense either when you had May, Lugo, and Foley available in the bullpen. But Mets lose 4-2 to the Nationals. Lose the last game, didn't get the sweep. The Mets are 3-1 going to Philadelphia tomorrow. So once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit on that subscribe button, guys. Mets lose 4-2 to the Nationals. Got a 3-1 record going to Philadelphia for the next 3 games in Citizens Bank Park. So I will be going live tomorrow for Mets Phillies. It will be Walker against, I'm not sure who's pitching for the Phillies, but Walker's on the mound for the Mets. So I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for the pregame going right into Mets and Phillies. So once again, guys, really appreciate all the support you've been giving, guys. Mets lose a tough one. Questionable decision by Buck Showalter. Bad defense at the end of the game that didn't help the Mets keep that lead. So once again, guys, I will see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Mets versus Phillies. Mets 3-1 on the season. Lost today 4-2 to the Nationals. Have a good night, guys. Let's go, Mets. See you tomorrow night. Tough game, but first place 3-1. Can't complain. Have a good night, guys. Let's go, Mets.